Hey guys, Ian here. Before we get started, just a little bit of an apology. There's a little bit of audio desyncing in this episode. I've tried to clean it up. I'm not entirely sure what's happened here, but on the odd occasion, it's a little bit wonky, and apologies for that. But I I'll be honest, I don't have the time to go through it with a fine tooth comb. Um, it is what it is, unfortunately. But apologies, and we'll try and resolve this for next week. All right, cheers.
Hello.
And welcome to Film
Bastards. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 507 of Film Bastards. No, we're not taking a summer break. We said in the last one we were taking a summer break, and technically in the real world we have. But because the show didn't upload properly, you basically had a summer break before I said at the end of the last show that we're having a summer break. So this one will actually come out probably quite close to when 506 came out. So welcome back. We're in September, but it feels like July.
It's bonkers how, we're in a freaking heat wave.
I
don't like it.
Because July felt like September should feel, so this is our summer.
It is incredibly discombobulating. But apparently it's basically going to break on Sunday and then hello autumn. So
do you know what? Like I said, we go on holiday in like 4 weeks, don't we?
Yes.
And I'm looking
Although we're counting down,
and I'm looking forward to the warmth then. But my store's air conditioning doesn't work that well, and so literally I can get to work and be like really comfortable, and after an hour of being at work, I am just sweating like crazy and then just uncomfortable for the next 9 hours.
Yeah, it's not
solid.
good, is it?
That's not good. That's not good. Oh, my name's Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Becky Foster, hello everyone.
Matt Foster, hello everybody.
hello, one and all. Okay, so this week and next week we've got some like new stuff, but also some catch-up stuff. Yeah. So this week we have got new Equalizer 3 and Vacation Friends 2, catch-up, Meg 2, The Trench.
Yeah.
Also, Mark assures us that he has a lot of what he's been up to.
I have, on top of the 3 we've watched, I have 15 films.
Jesus fucking Christ. Right, great, good. And
including some belters.
Good. I mean, your definition of belters could be worrying. We shall. We'll let the audience decide. We'll also have some trailers. Well, I say some trailers, a lot of trailers. It's probably been some news. Syndicate podcast family. Please listen to like-minded shows such as Gaming Landfill, The Good, Bad, The Odd, The Film Bastards Is Us, The Rewatch Project, and Chinstroker versus Punter. There we are. Right, okay, news. Venice is happening. Fuck all of the actors are there. Mm-hmm. When they are there, they're saying, yeah, but fuck the studios. So it's all been a little bit weird.
I did like Adam Driver's little speech that he gave, where he basically said, right, so hang on a minute, these little more independent studios that made the films like that, some of the films that I'm talking about here, can agree to this, but these big massive studios that make all this profit, and that because they make all this profit, pay all of these massive salaries to their CEOs, they can't.
I mean, yeah, and it's something because Warner's in their earnings earlier this week said that they were gonna earn like hundreds of millions less than they were expecting to, because they don't have anything, because there's nothing in production. You know, they're actually saying on their earnings calls, this is actually affecting our bottom line now.
Yeah.
Anyway, we keep on we keep on talking about the strikes, but like not a lot's been happening, quite frankly. It's all at an impasse again. I will say, I thought it was very funny that the Telluride Festival, which kind of plays a lot of the stuff that Venice does, happened. Emma Stone was there. Poor Things, her new film, was there. She didn't promote it, obviously. She was just there as a punter. She just went and watched a bunch of films.
The thing is, it's easy to forget sometimes that a lot of actors actually and filmmakers actually like movies.
Yeah. I thought that was great. You know, yeah, good on you, Emma Stone. Like, getting some of the best reviews of her career. Poor Things is immediately been catapulted to the top of a lot of Oscar prognostication.
Prognostication.
That's the one. Thank you, Bex. Nice one. And which is wonderful. It would have been out this Friday, if the strikes didn't happen. Now we've got to wait till January the 12th. Fuck's sake.
Yep.
Just absolutely fuck's sake. So what? I mean, so Venice, Adam Driver. Priscilla played, seemed to be a little bit muted. Didn't really hear much about it.
Yeah, what I seem to have heard about Priscilla playing is people said that Priscilla played and then just kind of wanted to not talk about it afterwards.
Ferrari played, we'll talk about the trailer in a bit. Again, seems a bit muted, which is a shame, but I think maybe Michael Mann doesn't make films for everybody.
No, and I think that there's an element of, because he's not made anything for so long, it's a little bit like he's a little bit like of a forgotten man.
Yeah, little bit. It's currently ongoing, is Venice, but it seems like Poor Things was the one that really, really, really made the splash. So yeah, there we are. I don't know. Let's talk some trailers, because there's a lot of trailers.
There's quite a few actually, isn't there? Yeah.
I can't remember. Did we? I don't think we did. We didn't talk about Saltburn last time round, did we?
We didn't. No.
No.
We didn't. Did we talk about The Killer? Did that come out the day?
No, we haven't.
We haven't, have we? No.
So okay, well, fuck it. There's no order to this. So Saltburn played Telluride, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Is playing LFF and doesn't seem to be playing anywhere else, which is interesting. So this is Emerald Fennell's follow-up to Promising Young Woman, which again seems to have got some pretty meh responses.
It seems to be that people either fucking love it or think that it's absolute bobbins.
Yeah, and I can't help but think there might be a little bit of an overcorrection on Promising Young Woman happening here. That film, which, remember, Emerald Fennell won Best Screenplay. Okay, it was the COVID Oscars, a little bit of an asterisk, but that won Best Screenplay a couple years back, which is wild. So we've got Saltburn, which is again written by her, and it's Barry Keoghan becoming mates with Jacob Elordi. Jacob Elordi invites him back to his family's estate, and Rosamund Pike's his mum, I think.
Yeah.
And apparently some sexy chaos ensues.
Yeah, it's just... I think what's starting to happen a little bit now is we're seeing a little bit of the backlash of this. Right, this is just rich British people writing about, like, imaginary, vacuous, rich British people while saying, oh, aren't they terrible, but look how much fun they're having. And it's just a little bit like... It's getting a little bit boring now, this.
Yeah, comes out in November. Doesn't feel like there's going to be much of a campaign behind it.
I think it's going to be Barry Keoghan is very good. Film is a bit nothing.
The trailer seems to be like trying to go for the youth vote.
Yeah, it is.
But points for having a Block Party song in the trailer, because that will get the youth vote as well, I'm sure.
absolutely, because the Block Party's seminal debut album isn't 20 years old this year.
Yeah. No, I don't think it's this year. It's 2005. I want to say.
I think it is 2005. Actually,
no,
yeah.
hang on a second. Nah, fuck. Their second album was when I was in uni. Still, fuck.
Jeez. When was the Block Party's first album?
Oh, I don't like that.
It's weird, isn't it? Block Party's first album was Sound Alarm was 2005. Yeah.
It wasn't when I was in uni. It must have just been when I was still living in Bristol. Anyway, sorry. Okay, well that makes me feel slightly better.
Yeah, it's only 18 years old this year.
Yeah, Christ. Right, so that's Saltburn comes out in November.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you mentioned it. So the Killer.
Yeah.
I mean, that title treatment with the eye looking like a person that's fallen down is fucking incredible, and the fact that they do that in the trailer as well, and you actually see the eye fall down is just wonderful. I mean, and again, this got raves coming out of Venice as well. Doesn't necessarily feel like it's going to be an awards film, but it feels like it's going to be one that everyone's going to fucking like.
Yeah, it's one of the reviews I read of it said it's a lot closer to feeling like Panic Room and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo Fincher than Gone Girl, Seven Fincher.
Yeah.
It's a proper just thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that trailer again. It's got that Girl with the Dragon Tattoo in your face.
Yeah,
intense thing.
Yeah, it did. The thing is, I was watching it. I think we were all a little bit like. I think it's fair to say everybody was pretty underwhelmed by Mank.
Yeah,
good film, but a little bit underwhelmed by it.
Yeah.
But this feels more like a David Fincher movie. Whether or not David Fincher thinks it's a David Fincher movie, what quintessentially a David Fincher movie is, this feels more Finchery.
Well, it was a little bit of a passion.
It even happened.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was a little bit of a passion project for him though, because I was reading that they literally had to wait for he waited to make the film until Fassbender was available, because Fassbender's basically more a racing driver than an actor these days, and they had to wait for him to be available outside of his racing commitments.
Yeah, but he's very much like Fast. I literally, I think I've said it before on the podcast. When he kind of moved away from the acting thing, he randomly turned up on one of the football podcasts I listened to, where he just happened to be in the bar they were recording the post-match episode of when we beat Barcelona 4-0. He just happened to be in the bar with somebody there and ended up as a guest on the podcast. And they sort of asked him and went, what are you doing? Have you got anything sort of coming out later on? We always get people who are guesting to kind of plug what they've got going on. It's not usually a Hollywood movie star, but here we go. And he's like, no, he said, I after 300, I did 10 years of just solid acting. He said that I just decided, do you know what? Might take a little bit of a break. He said, so I'm off to go and do Le Mans next week.
So there's a YouTube documentary series by a car manufacturer, whichever one he raced for. There's 4 seasons of him and just about him and Le Mans. And it's I need to deep dive the fuck out of that one day.
That seems like one that could be quite good to go, that 7-day YouTube premium trial that you keep getting offered.
Yeah.
Hitting OK on it before you go on holiday, literally the day before, download all of them and watch them on the plane.
I'm going to Portugal in 5 weeks. 100%, that's one that I could do that for.
Yeah.
4 fucking seasons of Fassbender and Le Mans.
I bet it's really interesting, actually.
I bet it's great. And but look, I'm glad. He's got the Killer and he's got Nate's Goal Wins. It'll be nice to have Michael F. Fassbender back.
It really will, yeah. I'm in that zone. When he turned up and noticed you going, in the trailer, you're watching it going, it's easy to forget, A, that he's a really good actor, and B, how just engaging a screen presence he is.
100%. Okay, Rustin.
Ooh, didn't see this one.
So, Netflix film.
Oh, sorry, no, I did see this one, actually, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is George C. Wolfe, who directed Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, the film that I went to see with my boy Paul, and I had COVID at the time and didn't know about it, so that was fun. He didn't get it. This is Coleman Domingo playing Martin Luther King's assistant, who's kind of basically been scrubbed from history because he was gay. This looks fucking good. I'm really looking forward to this.
It just looks like a really grown-up film.
It looks grown up, but it doesn't look eat your vegetables.
It doesn't look vegetables, no.
It looks like there's going to be some vegetables, but, you know, there's also going to be a nice little bit of lamb shank as well.
It doesn't look just hearty. It looks like it's going to have a little bit, it's going to have some flavour.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chris Rock playing, like, a homophobic twat. Cool.
Yeah, that's it, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, why not? Yeah. I'm really, really looking forward to Rustin. That's November. Like Netflix, man. They got some good shit coming. But not good shit, I think, maybe. Pain Hustlers. So,
yeah.
The guy who directed the Fantastic Beasts films watched The Wolf of Wall Street. Brilliant.
I literally turned around to Bex after the trailer finished and just said, I don't know what that is about, but that trailer had the opposite effect of what they're supposed to do. And yeah, you're right. It does look like it's just Wolf of Wall Street on a budget, like a real budget.
Yeah. Not into that at all.
Just do you know what it's about?
Dreaming of a better life for her and her young daughter, Lisa Drake, a high school dropout, lands a job with a failing pharmaceutical startup in a yellowing strip mall in Central Florida. Lisa's charm, guts and drive catapult the company and her into the high life, where she soon finds herself at the centre of a criminal conspiracy with deadly consequences.
When people say that Netflix just fucking churn out just meh. This is the meh.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Rebel Moon?
We did, yes.
Right, that's fine. Ferrari, so kind of mentioned it earlier on. I mean, I'm into it, but it's a film about Enzo Ferrari directed by Michael Mann. Like, little bit, how could I not be into it?
You literally have me at directed by Michael Mann. You know, I like the fact that the trailer, it makes you look and go, oh, is this more insider Michael Mann, where it's just going to be just really just good filmmaking.
Just while we're on the F1 stuff before we move on, have either of you guys seen the trailer for that Schumacher documentary that's coming out?
No.
On Netflix, apparently.
No.
Yeah, just a big old documentary about Michael Schumacher's career. I will watch the fuck out of that.
Nice.
Nice. It sounds like we're going to be reviewing that one then.
Yeah, but I can't find when it's out. I'll try and find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, good trailer. Reminds you of what a fucking powerhouse he was as well.
Nice. Taylor Swift, The Eras Tour.
Won't be great to see it myself, but I hope people.
I
enjoy
will.
it.
Thanks.
Yep.
I didn't get tickets to see her in Cardiff, so I
I think it's a really good idea. Doing it as a concert film, I think it's a really good idea. I don't know why. I don't know why more big touring artists don't do something that. You know,
Can't charge people £300 for tickets.
No, but you're going to charge people £300 for tickets anyway because they've only got to see the actual gig.
It's already done like over $40 million in pre-sales in the US. Like,
but that's why they won't do them loads, because then they'll want to
No, but like for things like, for instance, the fact that tours are becoming like a big thing again. You know, I think people, you know, not every fucking artist, but like the Eras tour, like the Beyonce one, even though everybody seems really bored at those gigs. In fact, everyone I know that's been to the Beyonce, whatever it is, tour that she's doing at the moment, has said the same thing. It's shit. It's boring.
What about Snow Patrol 4DX?
Maybe not, but like they fucking. But I'm surprised that some of these more of them don't
Just
do it.
jabs you in the back when the chorus to Chasing Cars kicks in. Sorry.
That's just swaying you really fucking quickly.
Sorry, Beth.
I reckon it's an attempt to keep like the exclusivity of the experience.
No, I just don't think that. I just think that it's just there's such a lack of imagination. It's like it literally took them what 30, 40 years to go, hang on a minute, if not everybody can make it to the theatre, why don't we record them and show them at the cinema?
Yeah.
And now they're incredibly successful. It seems like I hope that this makes it become a thing.
Yeah. Ian, have you seen the trailer for the stage show for Spirited Away?
Yes.
God, I really want to go see that.
The stage show of My Neighbour Totoro's doing some more dates in London over, like, towards Christmas, I think. I'm kind of interested in that, I must say.
Spirited Away's, like, next April.
Yeah.
At the Colosseum. On the Colosseum?
What,
Yep.
in Rome?
No, the London Colosseum. I just don't know if I can justify that ticket price.
How much is it?
Minimum 90, maximum around 250.
Fuck's sake. Yeah, alright.
Yep.
It looks amazing though.
Godzilla -1, new trailer for that. Still think that concept is fucking hilarious.
Yep. Godzilla revenge movie. Totally fucking up for it.
Just the whole, like, after World War II, Japan had 0. Now, -1. Because here's Godzilla. Yeah. I don't know.
But I like the fact that at the end of the trailer, they're like, this creature will never forgive us for this. It's like, what the fuck have you done? So you've pissed off Godzilla. You silly bastards.
Brilliant.
Even the synopsis doesn't actually say anything about what happens. It's just Godzilla appears in post-World War II Japan, which is at its low point at 0, and knocks the country down 1 to the negative. What? Jesus Christ!
It feels so callous though. Just they're at 0. Fuck it, knock them down 1. Put Godzilla in there. But I think the end of the trailer's like experience it in IMAX. It's like if I fucking can, I will.
Oh yeah, I am very much like, oh, I hope I can.
Jesus Christ. Right, very short teaser trailer for May, December. A film that is going to trigger the fuck out of Mark.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
So May, December, new film from the director of Carol, Todd Haynes.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Stars Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman is an actress who is playing Julianne Moore's character. Julianne Moore's character is, I think, a teacher who fucked her student, went to prison, came out, and then her and the student are living together. And it's a bit of a dark comedy where all the reviews so far just seem to be going, well, you know, they get over that hurdle quite well. And it's like,
It's a spiritual sequel to That's My Boy.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, if that's the way that you want to compartmentalise it, sure.
I am going to.
If it wasn't Todd Haynes and if it wasn't Natalie Portman and Julianne Moore,
people would have problems with it. In the same way as, and bear in mind, I am looking forward to Poor Things, but in the same way as Poor Things apparently is incredibly horny, and Yorgos Lanthimos is a genius, Michael Bay once showed Megan Fox's midriff in a film, and what a pervy bastard.
I don't know. I mean, like, to be to be fair, is it the start, like the opening, like shot of Megan Fox in Transformers or Transformers 2 is literally her bent over a motorbike and it's just her ass?
Yep.
The horny seems to be coming back though. That's the thing.
Horny is coming back.
It seems to be a thing that film Twitter and whatnot, or film X, is into, and after. But that's completely backlashing against like younger people seeming to be a bit more conservative when it comes to that kind of stuff these days. But yeah, May, December, I feel like that's going to be a problem, and I'm way more in the tank for Todd Haynes than I think either of you are, quite frankly. And I'm a bit like, right, that film's got a really fucking high bar of difficulty to get over for me.
I have either I really like Todd Haynes movies, or I'm like, nope, sorry, you're just trying to show off how smart you think you are now. And by the way, Todd Haynes is a very smart man, so.
I think I've only got one more, and it's one that came out today. If
I've got two more. Have you got any more, Bex?
I don't think so. I've watched any you've not.
So I think we've all got the same one of the same ones left.
Is it magical?
Yes.
Ian, is your one magical?
I'd say it's probably magical, yeah.
Okay.
My other one is what happens later. The Meg Ryan, David Duchovny, Meg Ryan directed rom-com.
Ooh.
Yeah. So David Duchovny, Meg Ryan in a rom-com, which I believe is written and directed by.
Does he still look like he's wearing a mask of his own face?
No, he doesn't look. He doesn't look like he's sponsored by Craft Services.
Okay, good for him.
But it's basically they get trapped in an airport overnight together, and they used to date, and that's it.
Yeah.
Really?
It's that kind of rom-com, but it's a full-blown like rom-com.
Wow. All right.
And do you know what? I'm watching it going, yep, all over. I will absolutely spend 100 minutes with those two, just jollying around an airport, just kind of falling back for each other.
This could not be more made for you.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Nope. Looks great. Genuinely, I think it looks brilliant.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like rom-coms as a general rule, but some pass the test, and that seems like it will be one of them.
I think the world needs to fucking remember just quite... Oh, I've got two more, actually. I've just remembered another one. The world needs to remember how fucking just adorably brilliant Meg Ryan can be.
She's fucked her face up there. It's weird. It's hard to look at her.
Well, let's just...
So's Duchovny, though, so...
Yeah. The company hasn't exactly...
Perfect match, then, aren't they?
Yeah. The face fucker.
She's still got that magnificent hair, though, hasn't she?
Yeah. And she's still
adorable.
I'm also really curious to see what she does as like the official queen of rom-coms. Does actually directing a rom-com could be really interesting.
There's like some fourth wall breaks, isn't there, in the no, not fourth wall breaks, like the announcers like answer them.
Oh yeah, the announcer
at the airport.
The announcer at the airport, it seems like he's talking directly to them. So there's whether or not it's like an imagination thing or not, I don't know. But it looks fun. It just looks fun.
It does look fun, yeah.
New Jeff Nichols movie, Bike Riders.
It's literally just came out like an hour ago, apparently. I haven't had a chance yet.
Looks like Jeff Nichols just essentially just spent like a month watching only Sons of Anarchy and The Outsiders. Like he'd watch a season of Sons of Anarchy and then go, I fancy watching The Outsiders. Watch The Outsiders and then go, I better get back to Sons of Anarchy. And then after it, he's gone, I better watch The Outsiders again, you know. And they've just done that. 7 seasons of Sons and 7 times watching The Outsiders, and then went, right, I'm getting a fucking typewriter out. Here we fucking go.
What if we covered what the Sons of Anarchy were doing, but in the 60s? But like for copyright reasons, we just have to give them different vests, guys.
Yeah.
Look good though, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks really good. It looks it's Tom Hardy essentially as the head of this motorbike gang, and
Austin Butler is the heir apparent.
Which for anyone who's watched Sons sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
And Jodie Comer, who I must say is a very good screen presence, but like I said to you, Bex, when I was watching the trailer, she needs to stop making such a point of the fact that she's doing a voice.
Oh my god, Jodie Comer's Tara.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's Sons of Anarchy in the 60s.
It is a little bit Sons of Anarchy in the 60s, but it does look very good.
As such, obviously, we're all in.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Yeah, and then the one that is very much
Miyazaki's back, baby!
It looks so Miyazaki.
It looks great! It looks great!
I don't know whether I'm on board with this boy protagonist situation. What the fuck, Miyazaki?
It is going to be interesting, Miyazaki having a boy protagonist, yeah.
Oh, it looks so beautiful. I don't even care what it's about.
Again, another one where it came up and said it was in IMAX. I did look at it and think, Cineworld do have a good record of showing Asian cinema in IMAX.
I think it would get like a one-day IMAX release. I could see that.
I think it'll be a one weekend. You'll be able to catch it on IMAX.
Yeah, like Suzumi and Bell got IMAX releases. If they do, I feel like this will quite easily.
Yeah, and we saw both Ghost in the Shell and Akira on IMAX, didn't we?
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks fantastic.
Brilliant.
Yeah, just really, it's incredible just how much of a visual style that is just instantaneously recognisable.
Oh, God, yeah,
Miyazaki
100%.
has.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, and that's any still of that movie, of that trailer there. If you'd have stopped that and gone, oh, who's this new film by? You'd have gone, well, it's Miyazaki. Just clearly, there is literally his fingerprints are literally on it because he drew it.
Yeah. I love how the okay, so again, back to IMDb's plot synopses. Starts off real serious. Through encounters with his friends and uncle, follows a teenage boy's psychological development.
Yeah.
Gets real ghibli. He enters a magical world with a talking grey heron after finding an abandoned tower in his new town. Of course he does.
Of course he does, yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Nice one. Okay, so there we are. Let's talk Vacation Friends 2. Woo! Which is directed by Clay Tarver. Stars John Cena, Lil Rel Howery, Yvonne Orji, Meredith Hagner, Carlos Santos, and Steve Buscemi. The description for this on IMDb appears to be the description for the first film. So the two couples are going on holiday together, but Lil Rel Howery's character is also gonna do some business after, but wouldn't you know it, the business is pushed forward. So like John Cena and Meredith Hagner are around when Lil Rel Howery's like, yeah, but I gotta work, so be chill. They're not chill. But then Steve Buscemi's in it, and he's Meredith Hagner's dad. He's a little bit dodgy, and things happen. There you go. That'll do it. So Vacation Friends 2, I don't think anybody knew this existed. Maybe even the people behind the film until the trailer came out like 2 weeks ago. It's here, sequel to Vacation Friends, which obviously did well enough on Disney Plus and Hulu in the US to justify a sequel. I'm glad that we had it. Mark, I know you were really looking forward to it. What do you make of Vacation Friends 2?
First of all, start with a couple of caveats. One, it's not as good as the first.
No.
Two, I think you could get rid of an entire character and their entire character story, which weirdly is a big part of the story, and you'd still have a really fun movie in it. In the sense that I don't think it needs the introduction of Steve Buscemi's character at all.
No.
And he becomes like a big part of the movie, but I just don't think you even needed him there in any way at all.
No.
But I still had a fun time with it. It's a fun movie. It is very much knows what it's supposed to be doing, and it does it. It's silly. It's crude without being crass, I think you could say. Sure. And it's just a bit kind of bonkers. It follows that trend of silly comedies that you got in the late 80s and very early 90s. So, you things like films that I really enjoy, like Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
They're just silliness without it being buffoonery.
I mean, there's some buffoonery.
There is some buffoonery, but it feels almost real life buffoonery. It's not quite spoof buffoonery.
Okay.
It's not quite fucking Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo buffoonery.
I've never seen that movie.
You don't need to. No one needs to see that. But yeah, I had a good time with it. John Cena is a great comedian.
Yeah, and the thing is, I Vacation Friends floats along on the fact that everyone does like John Cena and he likes everyone, and that's why he's so like. And I think having the Steve Buscemi character in there, it just fucks with the dynamics too much. It takes the focus away.
Yeah, you kind of you don't like the fact that he doesn't like him.
Yeah, and I think it would have worked better with the conflict, obviously mild conflict, as it was in the first one, from what I can remember. But the conflict being with the business thing.
Yeah.
It didn't need the Buscemi-ness.
No. But I also, but I had a good time with it. I'm unapologetic of that.
And what's his face is badly underused as well.
Who?
Carlos Santos.
Oh,
yeah. Like, give him something else to do other than just babysit.
I'm sorry, but the bit with the why are there two babies? I honestly don't know. It's just brilliant.
Oh, my heart broke a little bit when she asked him to babysit though.
Yeah.
What did everyone else think of it? What did everyone else think of it? I'm just laughing at
I thought it was perfectly decent. We watched it Friday night after getting back from Spain, so just needed something to kick back with, and it absolutely did the job. Entertaining, nothing more than that. Like you guys both said, not as good as the first one, but that's fine. The 6 and 7 out of 10s can be perfectly decent in the right situation, and coming back from a day of traveling, like watching it after a day of traveling, is the right situation for a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Yeah, you when you're traveling, you're a bit tired, and you just kind of want something. You want to be entertained, but you don't want to be you don't want to be overwhelmed. You don't want a 9 out of 10 banger there. You don't want something that makes you have to go, all right, do you know what? I can't give this 98% of attention. I've got to give this 100 fucking motherfucking percent. Yeah. Whereas Vacation Friends 2, I don't think you need to give this 100% of attention. You can skate along at a good 90, 95.
Yeah, definitely. Do you know what? It's fine. It's a good fun comedy to stick on. It's like you say, it's not something that you need to really pay huge amounts of attention to. It kind of can float along in the background, and if you zone out for a minute or two and then come back to it, you're not going to be lost.
I like the fact that Ronnie Cheng is basically playing the same character he played in Joyride, but just getting to do a lot more and have a lot more fun.
I liked that Ronnie Cheng was actually just, in the end, a nice guy in this.
Yeah.
He was my favourite character in there.
He wasn't just an arsehole. He just. It's the fact that he very quickly it's like, I like you, Marcus.
But I mean, it in Joyride and Mafregan, he is dickhead businessman. It was nice. It was nice to see him be nice businessman. It's kind of weird that Ronnie Chang, who doesn't necessarily feel like a businessman presence, has been a businessman in 3 films this year. But yeah, there we are.
Yeah, but I mean, this one is the one that he got to have the most kind of fun, and And the drinking competition thing was great.
Yep.
Yeah, the drink.
Them thinking that guy was dead.
Yeah.
Just the fact that at the end as well, it's like
He's there.
he's there, and it's like, right, they're gonna have another round. It's like, oh fuck, I want to watch that.
Yeah. The thing is, you could see this getting a third film.
Why not?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's not like any of the cast, have grown beyond it or anything like that.
No.
There's plenty of scope for it. It's basically, we just send them on vacation and get them to twat around for 3 days.
I want to see him on safari.
But yeah, you could do something like
I
that.
think you just called it, Bex.
Yeah. Safari, and at one point, like a fucking condor or something like that. Fucking John Cena just goes, that condor's about to shit.
No, you need to have a condor pick up Lil Rel Howery.
Yeah. Because those things are huge.
Very good. And then he uses his park ranger skills to track the condor to its nest and rescue him.
Yeah, you see, that sounds just
I'm a
brilliant.
fucking genius.
I'm on.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you added to it, Bex. You know.
Yeah.
It was my idea.
No, it was my idea about the condor picking him up, though. You
Okay.
fucker.
Safari was my idea.
There I am, trying to give you credit, and then you're like, nah, fuck you, this is my idea.
Well, I think you're all wrong, because Vacation Friends 3 was my idea.
Vacation Friends 3, African Adventure.
See, this shit just writes itself.
Doesn't it?
See, we know our reach when this all
Vacation
happens.
Friends 4, Lost in Bangkok.
See, I'd watch all of these.
I mean, that's just Hangover 2, isn't it?
No.
I'd watch Hangover 2 again. What would be funny is if like Hangover 2 was just happening in the background at one point.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're in the same universe.
Crossover.
Nice.
I mean, I'm definitely not shit on it. It's a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely not shit. It's not a stone cold banger, but it's definitely not shit.
Vacation Friends 5, Helsinki Hangover.
I'd watch that as well.
Oh, definitely not shit.
Ian?
Great. Yeah, no, not great, but really good. Fun.
Yeah. Our audience poll, definitely not shit 50%, shit 50%. Fair play.
Nice. Okay. As we're
Not everyone enjoys joy.
as we're already close to the water, let's talk about Meg 2: The Trench, directed by Ben Wheatley, starring Jason Statham, Jing Woo, Shuya Sophia Kai, Cliff Curtis, and Paige Kennedy. A research team encounters multiple threats while exploring the depths of the ocean, including a malevolent mining operation. Bex, what did you think about Meg 2: The Trench?
I didn't get to Meg 2: The Trench. Mark watched this at work.
Alrighty then. Mark.
But I loved it.
Nice. Mark.
Yeah.
Meg 2: The Trench.
I think I might want to be one of the only people to say this, but I think it's better than the Meg.
Agree!
It's just more fun than the Meg. It's kind of more what I hoped the Meg would be.
Is it all like overblown and bullshitty? Like just like fucking
It's
everywhere?
not quite as overblown as I still want it to be.
Yeah.
It's not quite Piranha 3 Double D.
No, but, Bex, Jason Statham says to someone, just before he's eaten by a Meg, see you later, chum.
Chum. Yeah, it does do that.
Nice. See, I really wanted to watch this, but I didn't want to watch it without having rewatched the first one again first, so I will get to it.
Yeah, I had a really good time with it. It's fun. It's broken up into a couple of little bits. So you've got the bit where they're actually in the trench, which is really quite good and really quite tense and feels a little bit more kind of sci-fi. And then you've got the outright just silliness of when they get back on land. And I like the fact that it's just I like it that it's just in broad fucking daylight.
Yeah. What you said basically, Mark. I think this is Ben Wheatley kicking back and just having a fucking laugh and probably earning a really, really good paycheck and going, fuck it. I'm gonna push this as much as I can with a PG-13. It's a shame it's a PG-13 again, I'll say that. But it's the trench stuff.
Yeah, it is a shame.
The trench stuff is interesting. You know, could you have done a whole film of that? Probably not. I think they spend about the right amount of time on that.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried when they went into when it was the trench bit. And I thought, ooh, is this going to be the majority of it here? And the trailer was all like out of the trench bits, and that's all like the end 5 minutes or something. But no, they spent like the right amount of time.
What's it, like 20 minutes? 25 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, and then literally, again, I was thinking, when they get into that submarine, I was thinking, all right, is this going to be them having a battle to get out of the trench against all these Megs? And it's like, nope, literally the next scene, they're fine.
yeah, no, and, you know, and it's doing different stuff from the first one. You know, this time you've got like actual real, not just Rainn Wilson being a dick. You got wrong-uns kind of up in there as well. And they're boo-hiss bad guys, they're twats, you know, and
yeah.
This film just knows exactly what it is, and no, it's not able to be an 18 gore fest, and you know, there's not tits everywhere and swearing, but hey, do you know what? If I was a fucking 12, 13-year-old having a crack at this, I'd be having the time of my life. You'd
have a great time. I like the fact as well that it doesn't try and hide the fact that Skylar Samuels is the bad guy. It's like, what is it? There's literally a scene where it's like, somebody sabotaged it, and then she kind of like, almost like smiles at the camera and goes, oh really?
It is literally, it just cuts to her. And well done.
It's Wheatley having like you say, a real good amount of fun and going, I might never get to play with all these toys again, so here I'm going to do this shit and this shit and this shit.
And that's it though, isn't it? Like, it is Ben Wheatley I bet he just got the offer and he was like, fuck it, why not? I bet that's exactly what he said. And
the thing is, you know, why not? Being honest, I bet Ben Wheatley is doing okay, but has not made a great deal of money out of like the movies, some of the movies he makes, because of the style of the movies that he makes. But it's a well-made film. It looks better than The Meg.
Yeah, fair.
It looks like it's a $130 million movie, but it looks like a $130 million movie. He gets Statham. I think my problem that I had with The Meg was Statham wasn't doing Jason Statham things.
Yeah.
Whereas Jason Statham is doing Jason Statham things here.
Okay.
You know, he gets to be, you know, a badass.
He's a bit new to, because I watched the first Meg last week, and he is a bit muted in it, and it doesn't quite. Yeah, you're right. It's not quite got the Stafe, but like by the end here, where you got the Stafe on a jet ski going against a Meg with a harpoon, it's just like no, okay, this is yes please.
Yep. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I had a good time watching The Meg actually too.
Also,
the more I talk about it, the better time I'm having.
Enjoyed the closing credits as well, with the Chinese language cover of the Ting Tings That's Not My Name.
Yeah.
I was like, I know this fucking tune. What is this? And then it breaks into the chorus. It's like, what?
Yeah. It came out, I thought, it's just a Ting Tings, but it's not. And then it started going, I was like, oh god, go on then. You know your audience for this movie without question.
Let's do a shit Chinese cover of That's Not My Name. Why not?
Yep.
Look, I don't think, like Ben Wheatley, would I rather he be making films like this, or would I rather he be making films like Rebecca? Let me think.
Yeah, this is... Yeah. It's... I thought Rebecca was... But I was starting to worry a little bit about Ben Wheatley after Rebecca. And then this, I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, it's a cracking film.
a batshit career, and I love it. Good on him.
Yeah.
Not all of them work, but hey.
Not all of them work, but at least he doesn't just lean into one genre and keep going back to that well. It'd be funny if he just did something else really random next.
Yeah, and hey, you know, like the dude wouldn't know me from Adam, but I've had a couple of interactions with him in my time, and he seems like a perfectly nice guy as well. Glad he's just he's obviously just taken the money and had some fun with this one. Good on him.
Yeah, met him once years ago, and he seemed like a good dude.
Yeah. All right, cool. Definitely not shit. What's the poll?
Audience poll? Definitely not shit. 13%.
Oh, come on.
Shit 63% and Geostorm 24%.
I mean, you know, people have been snarky about it on Letterboxd as well, and it's like if your complaint is it's just not the 18 rated one I'd like it to be, fair enough. I'll be honest, other complaints, I'm a bit, what were you expecting?
Yeah, what? Yeah, I saw a few people saying it's just silly. Jason Statham would he would have been crushed by that Meg at the end. It'd have just landed on him. It's like
it starts with like 65.
That's the bit that you're going to pick up on. None of the rest of it.
It's a film that starts with 65 million years ago, and it's a dinosaur getting fucking eaten by a Meg. That's the film this is.
Yeah. And my brain occasionally just basically accuses me of being a fucking idiot. Occasionally. So my brain, when it came up and said...
reality tracker creep.
And it said 65 million years ago, the Cretaceous period. My brain went to me went, that's not 65 million years ago. Be in black and white if it was.
That's good. Actually, that just reminded me of when they're like, it translates to Fun Island, and then it cuts, and it's just a massive title going Fun Island.
Fun.
That's great. This film knows exactly what he's doing.
It on every level does, yeah.
CS3P Combat. Player 1, choose your character.
Tired of film and television podcasts where the hosts exist in a blissful state of agreement?
Instructor. Player 2, choose your character.
Well, you're in luck.
Punter. Round 1, fight!
Allow me to introduce you to the Chinstroker vs. Punter podcast, featuring two film and television fans from Birmingham, England, who enjoy their media in very different ways.
But anyway, that brings us to the end of the plot of Blue Velvet.
The plot. I mean, the main characters are two of the dullest main characters I have ever encountered in any film.
So join us as we catch up on what we've been watching from our own very different perspectives.
Double KO. Round 2, fight!
You can find us at csvsp.libsyn.com, also on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, all the places that podcasts can be found.
Just really
It's not visually striking.
No.
Just getting confirmation.
It's just in English. That's the third time, though. I mean, is this on?
I don't know where to start, actually. Do we start with Mark? Do we start with Bex? Do we do a little bit of round robin? I don't know. How do you guys want to do it?
Should we do the ones that we watch together?
Can do.
Then we can do... I can do them separately. The ones I watch together and the ones I watch on my own.
Okay.
That way it breaks up my voice a little bit.
You've got a beautiful voice.
Yeah. So, we need to be a little bit non-spoilery on this one, don't we?
Yes.
Okay.
So we watched Cobweb.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not ever going to watch this film, so, like, if you want to just all spoilers all the time for it and get into it, please do.
We can do if you want. So, guys, all spoilers all the time for Cobweb.
And it's just because I can't be asked. I don't know, that film...
You don't
yeah,
need to
okay,
ask.
fine.
It's a horror film that even Becky, you found a little bit meh, didn't you?
Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't particularly like Lizzie Kaplan in stuff. I don't think she's a warm screen presence at all. But she's not she's not creepy enough to be a cold screen presence.
She's objectively bad in this.
She really is, yeah.
I was at the points where she's bad during like the first half of the film that she's in. I was thinking, right, she isn't this bad. This is part of the character. There's something that's going to come out later on that explains why she's acting like this and why she's doing this.
I was assuming she's not his mum.
Yeah, no, she is.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
I thought that as well. But then, yeah, it is just that she is just really bad in it.
Oh, wow.
Cobweb feels like it's 3 different scripts that they've cherry-picked all of the worst bits from. And then, when they've started writing it, they've gone, I might have a break writing this. I might have a bit of a break. And we've got the cinema. What's playing? Oh, Malignant's playing. That new horror from James Wan. All right, cool, yeah. They come back and gone, got a great idea, guys. Completely changing the end of the movie.
Right.
But the problem is it's nowhere near as fun as Malignant, is it?
No, it's... Do you know what? It's a little while since we watched this. Did the girl that went missing turn out to be a false flag?
Yeah.
Cause
don't go anywhere with it. There is a lot of play. No, she killed it, didn't she? The sister killed it. Oh.
Yes, yeah.
But it just does nowhere. Yeah.
So basically, they've trapped his older sister in the walls.
No, they trapped her in a basement.
Oh, and she's escaped into the walls. And she's talking to him. He's really badly bullied, and his parents are really weird with him.
Yeah.
But it turns out they're really weird with him because they've got this secret that they've got her trapped in the basement.
Because she's a monster.
But the sister is telling him it's because they're abusive.
Yeah.
And to let her free and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So...
Is she actually a monster, or is it that they're abusive?
No, she is a monster.
Oh, all right.
It would have been better if they were abusive.
It would have been better if they're abusive.
Yeah.
And the thing is, once it isn't that, and it's just that the sister is a monster, but then the sister has all of these, like, heightened sense powers, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And it's like, so you can do all of this. You can literally tear a man in two, but you can't break through a little bit of drywall.
Yeah. So then he lets her out. She kills them.
She kills his bully.
She kills the mum as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, and the dad. Yeah.
And all right. Okay, so to go back a bit, the boy's really badly bullied at school.
And he pushes the bully down some stairs.
And gets expelled,
Yeah.
suspended. But because he's badly bullied, he spends his recess in the classroom and makes friends with the substitute teacher, who then starts coming round. There's too many fucking threads.
There's too many threads that go nowhere, that make no sense. Like the kid who's bullying it turns out that his brothers are like street hoods who go around the house and just start smashing it up randomly. It's like that went from like a low level, like these kids are bullies, to being like fucking Michael Pitt and what's his name in what's it called?
Oh, Funny Games?
Funny Games, yeah.
Yeah. The teacher kind of mishoneys him, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And gets all up in his biz.
It's just we're over explaining it.
And then it just ends.
It literally just ends.
And he goes to live with his teacher.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Sounds shit, guys.
It is.
It's a fucking mess.
It's a mess. It's 88 minutes, and Anthony Starr, all he does in it is stand still and turns his head and his shoulders slightly in one direction, and then says something, and then turns back and walks away. That is all he does in the film.
What, literally?
Yeah.
It literally, it's like he was on some heavy medication and was like, I can't actually, all the movement I have is this.
It's so forgettable.
Yep. So what else to watch? We also watched Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny.
Nice. Good movie.
We did. I haven't loved that actually. Yeah, we did. Why did we? Just out of interest. I can't remember now.
Because for some reason Tenacious D kept on coming up in a playlist that you had on the car, and we'd gone out for the day and we'd listened to quite a bit of Tenacious D, and then we were like, "We fancy watching tonight," and we both went, "Do you fancy watching?"
What song, Ian, do you think kept coming up off of Tenacious D?
I don't know, Kickapoo?
Nope. Fuck Her Gently.
Oh, yeah, alright.
Yeah. So yes, we watched Tenacious D. It's incredibly silly, but incredibly fun at the same time.
Yeah, it's of its time for sure.
Yeah.
For stupidity.
Good laugh, though, isn't it? That's the thing.
It is really good fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it is a good laugh.
And if I remember correctly, it's got that kind of like innocent thing where it's not making jokes against people. Like or am I wrong? Like there's like no gay or racial kind of humour in it.
No, there's no gay or racial thing. It's fairly kind of like Gas comes across as a little bit of a creep, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, it goes to a college party basically, and it's try and hook up with some girls that are way too young for him.
Yeah.
But I think.
But it kind of makes a joke of that.
But I think the idea in the movie though is they're supposed to be young, playing them. They're supposed to be their young selves, but they're just playing their young selves.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be about their age.
Yeah.
But he's obviously not.
But the running joke is that he's been bald since he was a young man.
Yeah.
You can cover this one, Max.
So we rewatched Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City.
Oh, it's on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah, literally the day it arrived on Netflix, Bex was like, "Do you fancy watching it?" You're going to say Resident Evil, aren't you?
But he agreed, guys.
I just thought,
really excited.
I'm going to say
Get
otherwise, for the next 6 months, every night, I'm like, no, I don't want to watch Resident Evil Raccoon City.
That film's alright, man. It's fine.
Good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh, I know, but I think this was my 5th time watching it since it came out in the cinema.
And it's only 2 years old.
Yeah. It's just so fucking faithful to the games, though. It's so good. I love it.
I must admit, I do enjoy it. I do like Donald Logue's in it, and as the sheriff.
Oh yeah.
And it's an awful lot of fun in it. It's
every time I watch it, I remember the fact that the dude out of Upload's in it, and go, "Oh my god, I forgot that guy from Upload's in it."
One of the MLs.
The now known as the not dickhead ML.
Is it Robbie ML?
Yeah.
Right.
Is there a dickhead ML?
Yeah, the other one, his brother, who's Arrow, is a bit of a dickhead.
Oh, okay.
He just comes out with some absolute shite.
What did he do? He finger a panda?
He basically was very much like he's supported some right-wing causes and thinks that active striking is an act of self-harm and all this lot. And Robbie Mel's kind of come out and gone, well, you don't have to agree with your brother about everything.
Nice.
But yeah, I would gladly watch more of this iteration of Resident Evil.
Oh God, yeah, 100%.
Got
Did
a couple
you say it's
more.
getting a sequel?
It's still apparently is in the works. Yeah.
Nice.
We've got 2 more I think that we watched together, haven't we, Bex?
1, 2, yes.
So we watched
3, 4.
Have we? What? Oh yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that one. No, we didn't finish one of those. So we rewatched Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, we did.
It's just it's a tour de force of entertainment and charisma. It's Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, it's really good. To be fair, I always think I'm not really much of an Eddie Murphy fan, and then I watch an Eddie Murphy film, and I'm like, alright, it's fine. It's fine.
Eddie Murphy in the 80s. Eddie Murphy is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, fucking unstoppable.
He is just so charismatic and so watchable and so fun. And the great thing is, if you made Beverly Hills Cop now with somebody, he would Axel Foley would kind of come across as a bit of an arrogant dickhead.
Yeah.
But he isn't in this. He's just... It's almost like he knows he's good, but he also knows that a lot of it is just accidental look that he's doing. And he's actually just a nice guy as well. Like, he's playing with Judge Reinhold and... what's it? Oh, shit. John Ashton. But he also does really respect them because they're fellow cops.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to get them in trouble, but he also wants to kind of find out what happened to his friend.
Yeah.
It's... I like the fact that all the way through it you think that Ronnie Cox is in on it. And then you find out that he's not. And that he's actually a really good guy. Yeah. And just Steven Berkoff is great as like the shitheel bad guy.
Yeah. No, it was good fun.
What else do we watch? This one?
Yep.
Cool.
We watched... I don't know how we actually came across this, but we watched No Man of God, which is a... what's his face? Elijah Wood, starring Manhunter expanded kind of... Mindhunter kind of expanded thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
It's about the birth of the profiling...
of serial killers.
Department of the serial killers, and it's about the Ted Bundy interviews.
Yeah.
It's very low energy and it's very slow, but it's contemplative rather than boring. Like, it's really interesting to watch.
Yeah, it's a 100-minute movie where I would say a good 70, 80 minutes of it is just Elijah Wood and Luke Kirby, who plays Ted Bundy, just talking to each other.
Yeah.
In a room, just talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it's not all like tense talking. There's just them occasionally just kind of chatting about like life.
Yeah.
It's really,
and their kids and stuff. Yeah.
It's really odd in that sense. I actually really enjoyed it. It's
good
written.
Find, yeah,
it's written by Robert Cargill, who wrote Sinister movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Doctor Strange like that. But it was written under a pen name.
Right.
Cargill Robert.
Yeah. No, that's too obvious.
Roberto Cargill.
Kit Lesser was the...
Oh, okay.
That is it, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I probably wrote it under a pen name just for a why not. But yeah, really enjoyable little... If you're a person who likes like these true crime things, I think there's an element of intrigue to it.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not super into like the whole true crime, like the documentaries and stuff like that. But then it was still the dramatisation of that process was really well done.
Yeah. I think at points it tries to get a little bit too visually poetic at points.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a little bit like, right, that's not as interesting as the other bits you're doing. You're doing really well at directing the conversations, then don't just show me random imageries of clouds and bits like that. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but I think the idea was that it was like speaking to Ted Bundy was affecting... I can't remember, because Elijah Wood's character is based on a real person.
Bill Hagen. Hagman.
That's it. And like how talking to Ted, because he was like apparently quite a charismatic guy. He made a lot of sense when people talked to him. So he was starting to be like, well, anybody could be like this. Am I like this?
Yeah.
Have I got this in me?
That's the interesting bit there, isn't it? There's a point, and it's obviously it's based around a lot of like the actual recordings. But like, there's a bit where Ted Bundy says, "Do you think you could kill somebody?" And you're expecting to go, "No, I couldn't do that." And he's like, "Well, yeah, actually, I probably could."
Yeah.
Do I have the means to do it? Yeah. Do I have the intelligence to get away with it? Yeah. I could probably kill someone and get away with it. Yeah.
But could you live with it, Elijah?
And he's like, yeah, probably. and you kind of watching it, expecting to be like, no, I'm not a monster and all this. It's like, if the moment called for it, yeah, I reckon I could do it. And then there's a bit where you think there's going to be an altercation here, where it's like, you know, Bundy's in the appeal process, and he's saying, you know, it'll fall down to like, you know, whether or not they think that I am insane or not. And I was like, yeah, that's what it's going to fall down to. He's like, and like, so my solicitors, of basically the doctors they've got have said I am, and the solicitors that the defence have got are saying, the prosecution have got are saying that I'm not. And so it falls down to you, doesn't it? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and what are you going to say? Well, you're not insane. He's like, yeah, you're right, I'm not. It's like, fair enough. Yeah. It's every bit where you're thinking there's going to be a bit of drama here, there's just not. And then, what else do we watch, Becky?
Well, you can do this one, because this is one of your like pet films, isn't
It's a comfort movie for me, this, yeah. We rewatched Premium Rush. which the David Kett movie, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Michael Shannon in just, I am having so much fun with this character, it's unreal.
Do you know what, I always misremember though how kind of like weirdly off script it seems to go. Like, it's supposed to be about these bike couriers, and then it gets all into like human trafficking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's got a real kid detective energy.
The human trafficking wins in this as well.
Yeah. It ain't about what it's about all the way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's
You've got Michael Shannon's character has like an all-time great fucking maniacal laugh, along like the level of Jonah Hill in War Dogs level of just like, where did that come from and why is it so brilliant?
Do they stab Michael Shannon in the end?
They get shot in the back of the head, don't they?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this movie. It's such a treat.
Yeah.
It's such a throwback to, again, like mid-90s kind of thrillers that were aimed at kids. Like teens.
I don't think it is.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's aimed at like teenagers.
Yeah, it's aimed at like upper teenagers, so it's aimed at people from like 13 to about 17.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's about human trafficking.
They don't care about that bit. They just care about the bike things going really fast and Michael Shannon laughing maniacally.
Okay.
Yeah. And shouting, suck it.
Suck it, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like the word douchebag. It gets thrown around too much. Like, people don't really know how bad it is.
Yeah, random one.
Yeah. Really fucking enjoyed my rewatch of that. Right, I'll let someone else talk for a little bit now.
Bex, you got.
I've still got loads.
I've got a few on my own.
Yeah, go on, buddy.
So, I've got quite a lot on my own, but I want to talk about them as a holistic whole, and I am 8.5 ninths of the way through. No, actually, 8.5 11ths, really.
Right.
So I'll talk about them next week. I'll mop up the last bits. I've been doing a mega.
So you're not going to talk about any of those?
No.
You're not. All right, cool. Have you got anything else to talk about?
Yeah. So I went to the cinema to see Haunted Mansion.
Oh, you did, didn't you?
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. Oh.
Well, like it's not bad, and I said to you, didn't I?
You were up for this though, weren't you? So
Yeah.
I'm already a little bit disappointed by the
It's just a fucking mess, to be honest. It's really the acting's a bit. I feel like what they've tried to do here is kind of recreate cinematically the experience of going on the ride. And I haven't been on the ride, but I've heard stuff about the ride, and I think from some of the imagery and stuff that's in this, I think that's what they've been going for. And I don't know whether they've succeeded. I've never been on the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World or Disneyland or whatever the fuck it's at. But
Did you go on it, Ian?
the ride.
Yeah.
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 because there's like bits that are seen through windows, and there's like rooms turning round, and there's like all this kind of stuff, and it feels like watching a dramatisation of a haunted house at a theme park. as such, it doesn't necessarily 100% work as a film.
Right.
But also, you've got this, like... So you've got that. This is what I mean about it being really super messy, is you've got that, and that stupid chaoticness is really fucking fun. Really, really fucking fun, and makes it ideal for, like a kid's introduction to horror kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
It's a little bit spooky, but it's not really scary, and it's daft, and it's exciting.
Yes.
On the flip side of that, you've got Lakeith Stanfield really dealing very badly with the death of his wife.
All right.
And exploring the grief process.
Did he finger a panda?
No.
Okay.
So, he's basically... He was an astrophysicist, and he's developed this camera that can capture the dead, like through special lenses. They meet randomly at a bar on New Year's, and she happens to do like haunted tours of New Orleans. Happy. Then it just skips forward a few years, and he's running the tours. She's died, and he's running the tours for no longer an astrophysicist. And then gets asked to go and help this woman, Rosario Dawson, and her son, who have Ian?
What?
Sorry, were you just in the middle of a road?
Oh shit, no, I got my window open and a car just drove past, but what? Really? Was it that? Wow, okay.
Honestly, it sounded like you were in a train going through.
Really? Sorry, apologies.
No, it's fine.
Just making sure.
No,
you
I'm
were
fine.
bored by my review of Haunted Mansion you'd walked into.
Sorry.
So he gets asked by Owen Wilson's priest to go and help this woman who's moved into this house.
Who plays Owen
with her
Wilson's
son,
priest?
And it's haunt. No, Owen Wilson is the priest. Okay. And it's haunted. And so...
The priest is haunted?
Oh my fucking god. So he doesn't want to go, and then... I'm over-explaining it. There's too much grief shit going on for a kid's film. There's too much kids stuff going on for a film about
It's about
grief.
trauma.
They do not mesh. It is. And the kid's lost his dad, so they bond over their grief and blah, blah, blah. And it just doesn't quite work together.
Sounds shit. Sounds like another...
It doesn't sound
If that
good,
sounds like another family film made by someone who doesn't have a fucking family.
I think so, yeah. Which has made me really sad. Because if it had been either of those two things, it'd have been great, but both of them together don't work. Because, like, for example, the much lamented Eddie Murphy one, it's all just daft. Like, the main ghost, yeah, he's dealing with the death of his wife and stuff like that, but he's the ghost, like, and it's not in a really fucking heart-wrenching, painful way that he's dealing with it. He's just, like, trying to fucking find her in the afterlife. So that works better because it's all a bit mad. So anyway, yeah, it should be better, but it's not bad. I also watched The Truman Show.
Nice.
Did you?
I don't know why. I can't remember what sort of put me onto like wanting to rewatch. I think I saw a screenshot of that bit, where he climbs the stairs, and I was like, "Fuck! I really need to rewatch The Truman Show."
You have to wait quite a long time to get to the stairs as well. Like, it's good.
Yeah, I know. It's good. It's good.
Good
payoff.
patience.
It's
That.
a beautiful shot.
Yeah.
Thanks. I think really interesting study of like how voracious people's appetite is to sort of watch people. I think like reality TV and stuff like that, it's not real anymore, but I think this kind of came out quite a while ago, didn't it? 1998.
Well,
Yeah.
And I think it was when reality TV was a bit more raw and a bit more.
Well,
new.
that was the thing about Big Brother at the time, wasn't it? Because it was almost like this is actually a bit of a social experiment, and it was like you had the 24-hour-a-day cameras that you could watch, and it wasn't nearly as salacious as it got very quickly. It was just that kind of anthropological kind of thing. It was like that at the time. Yeah.
The first series of Big Brother was really interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it was until a point.
So yeah, I think, and like the exploitative nature of and what's his face? Is it Ed Harris?
Yeah,
The main guy. Just not really thinking he's done anything wrong at all. Well, I brought him into the world. I can kill him. No, that's not how it works. And he has no life. All his friendships and everything are just fake, and it's just really sad. And then he frees himself at the end. Fucks off out that door.
Off to fuck Natasha McElhone.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You really like Natasha McElhone.
Not a bad win, that.
No, I don't like her.
Oh, it's a joke, Mark.
I know. It wasn't funny to start off with.
Right. And then me and Isabel watched Odd Thomas because, of course, we did. Because Isabel was back and she's gone back to uni now.
You watched that a lot.
And it's her favourite film. Yeah. We laughed, we cried. It was very emotional. I've talked about it many times before. That's it. That's
Cool.
me.
Okay, Mark, let's have a bit more from you.
Right, let's go. What have I watched? We watched for like the first time in 20 odd years Human Traffic, because again it's come on Netflix and I thought, fuck it, I'll give this a go. I wonder how horribly this is aged.
Is that fucker on 4K on Netflix as well? Do I remember right? Yeah, I thought I saw it in the 4K section.
Yeah. It's not aged as horribly as I thought. It's kind of... It very much is a movie of its time. And it's fun seeing like Danny Dyer in his first ever role and realising he has not grown in any way as an actor in like 24 years.
He don't fucking need to though, he's Danny Dyer.
Yeah, and it is basically just that. It's like 90 minutes of just people talking shite, and it being going. Well, this is just a bit of a. It's a very knowing rip-off of Trainspotting to the point of where it actually references Trainspotting. But it's also quite fun. It's not in any way kind of like, it's not showing its age in terms of its sexual politics or anything like that. It is just the one night adventures of a group of young 20s people in Wales who like going out and taking pills. It's not like even anything that dramatic happens to them. It's just quite fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good time rewatching it, actually. I also rewatched The Bounty Hunter, which is
wow. Okay. Yeah.
Gerard Butler and Jennifer Aniston, and it's like, what if we made Midnight Run but made it into a Jennifer Aniston movie? And do you know what? It's about as good as you would think a Midnight Run with Jennifer Aniston in it would be. It's not very good, like at all. And it's it's like an hour and 45 minutes as well.
Yeah.
And it's just not very fun or funny. I'm a little bit disappointed I rewatched this. Alright, I'll do some of the... okay, so, had a wee little summer break from the dash cam.
Yeah.
Didn't manage to dash, but I did.
Yeah, you watched 15 films, but you didn't manage to dash cam, mate. Well done. Sorry.
Yeah, but I did watch didn't mean to watch that many movies. I watched Bad Johnson, which it's also called Schlong Story. And when I say I watched it, I rewatched it.
Yeah.
I'm the person in the world who has
You've
rewatched
talked
this.
about this film multiple times on this podcast, Mark.
Right, so for anyone who doesn't know, this movie is everyone's favourite. Plays Rich Johnson, so Dick Johnson, which is a great, it knows what it's doing this fucking movie, right? He is a bit of a womanizer.
Yeah.
And constantly keeps blaming his dick for all his problems.
Yeah.
So he injures his dick and can't have sex for 6 weeks, and actually forms a relationship with Jamie Chung where he can't have sex. But then the day where he's told that he then can have sex because his dick is all mended, what would you have it? He ends up, before he can fuck her, fucking somebody else, and then blames it on his dick and says that he wishes his dick would just go away. Wakes up the next morning, no dick. Fully Ken doll right down there.
Wow.
But his dick ain't gone away. No. It's actually a person played by Nick Thune. And his dick is a dick. And that is the story. It's about him and his dick and trying to work out how he gets his dick back, but his dick, stopping his dick from being such a dick. His dick falls out with him. Leaves, goes on a crime spree. He then starts actually forming a relationship with another girl, which means that his dick starts losing power. So his dick decides that he's going to try and seduce the girl that Rich likes because he thinks that will give him more power. Do you know how he gets rid of his dick in the end?
No.
He, because his dick is being uncooperative and isn't working, he basically fucking drugs him, his dick, with like an entire fucking bottle of Viagra.
Oh.
And his dick is like, this is just making me stronger. I don't know why you're doing this. It's just making me so much stronger, to the point of where he just goes absolutely stiff and falls over and can't move. That is the level of stupidity.
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea, mind.
It's actually quite good. The thing about this movie is it very good? No. It's not. Is it kind of fun? Yeah, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of is. It probably shouldn't be, but fuck it. Kind of is. Do you know what else is fun?
Go on.
Father of the Bride.
The Garcia.
We'll get to that. Father of the Bride is a fun movie. It's Steve Martin. Because he had a height with like The Jerk in the late 70s, 79 I think it was, and then had a solid run in the 80s, and then it was when he was starting to, it was like, could he make the transition into like rather than just looking like an older comedian, be an older comedian, could he start playing the dad roles? And yeah, he can. He's such another one where he's a ridiculously charismatic screen presence. And the thing is, at the time, these movies were, because they were all shot on film, they looked good. They weren't done as, right, let's make this movie really quickly.
Yeah.
They were made with the same love that a lot of movies made, because this was the bulk of movies you got. And it's fun. He's playing a little bit of he's a bit crabby, but he's not a dickhead in it. He just, it feels almost relatable as a parent who isn't quite ready for his daughter to get married, and he's he's like being shoehorned into all of the like paying for the wedding and bits like that. It has the right level of zaniness, but also the right level of heart and charm.
Yeah.
Within it. And Martin Short and BD1. Then I watched Father of the Bride Part 2.
Yeah.
which basically follows on from the first one, but his daughter is now pregnant. But what would you have it? It also turns out that Diane Keaton is pregnant as well at the same time. So he's both going to become a granddad and a new dad at the same time, and it's all about that hijinks. And it's not quite as polished and as good as the first, and as entertaining as the first, but it's still Steve Martin doing Steve Martin stuff. So
yeah,
it's really it is charming and it's fun and it's got an energy to it.
Yeah,
you know, Steve Martin has that ability to make you kind of like him, even if he is being a little bit of a jerk, without actually ever being just an outright fuck you. And it's got a lot of heart and a lot of charm. And again, it looks good. So we move on to to Father of the Bride, the Andy Garcia one, the one that came out last year. And the thing is, I wanted to watch this because I remember always enjoying Father of the Bride and Father of the Bride Part 2. Yeah. But I wanted to rewatch those before I watched this.
Yeah.
So I knew it was a 3-film commitment. And I thought, fuck it, I'm going to go for it. So I took on the 3-film commitment. This has none of the charm, none of the sweetness of the original 2 movies. And Andy Garcia is just a dick. Like he's not like fun, like dealing with it in an overblown way. He's not having a bad reaction to this and letting the pressure get to him. He's just a prick.
Right.
And it spoils the whole movie. It looks like it was shot on like an iPhone 12. It's a waste of everyone's fucking time. Genuinely, the only good bit in it, the only bit that is vaguely worth watching is Andrea Arjona, who plays his daughter, has a rather nice bottom.
Right.
That's about it. The rest of it is just, no. It's almost like Andy Garcia hasn't watched the Father of the Bride Part 2. And just thought, right, so I just need to play a cantankerous prick who constantly keeps reminding people, when I came to this country, I had nothing. It's like, we've said that about 15 times. And to be honest, it doesn't sound like you had nothing. Sounds like you had quite a bit already.
Yeah.
Like, if you had to work washing dishes for a year to then save enough money to go to architect school, that doesn't sound too bad.
No.
It sounds alright, actually. Sounds like you were getting paid a decent wage for washing dishes at that point. Yeah, there's this whole story about the fact that him and Gloria Estefan are getting divorced at the same time, that they can't announce it, and so there's that friction between them. But you just go in, do you know what? I think she's right to be divorcing you. You're a bit of a dick.
Fair.
You're just a prick. Yeah, so I was a little bit disappointed in that. I've got 2 more.
Go on.
Should I go through it?
Just go.
Yeah. I feel like I've been talking a lot. Sorry, guys.
It's alright.
So, Noel messaged us, didn't he, Ian, on our group chat?
Right.
Saying about a film that he was like, what the fuck, why is this playing at my local cinema?
You sent me this. I'm not going to watch it, Mark.
Well, that's your loss. Called Mobland. Which stars John Travolta, Kevin Dillon, Stephen Dorff, and Shiloh Fernandez. And on the face of it, because on the poster it's John Travolta, and all the marketing is John Travolta, and he's barely in it, to be honest. It's more Stephen Dorff and Shiloh Fernandez. But on the face of it, you're thinking it's one of those straight to VOD, like a little bit schlocky, like a lot of the Nick Cage movies we're getting at the moment.
You wash your fucking mouth out, Foster.
And I was kind of expecting that. So when they put it out, I thought, right, if there's one person who can take on this, take on this challenge of watching this movie, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm the person who can take on the challenge of watching this movie. It's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid movie. It clearly is. Nicolas Maggio, who wrote and directed it, is clearly very much trying to take influence from films like The Place Beyond the Pines. Like there's a shot very early on from that shot in Place Beyond the Pines where the camera's behind Ryan Gosling and it's following him as he's walking through the carnival. It's that, but it's Shiloh Fernandez and it's him walking. He's a drag racer. And it's following into that, and it's very much almost like a shot-for-shot kind of remake. And it was that at first that made me go, well, this is a bit Place Beyond the Pines. And then when it started, I was like, but it looks fucking good, actually. It's a good shot. It's like a well-compositioned shot, and it looks like a proper fucking movie.
Yeah.
And then it keeps elements of that going, but then it throws in bits of, like, Killing Them Softly with Stephen Dorff's character.
Yeah.
He plays... Essentially, Shiloh Fernandez is just trying to support his wife and his kid. But, the job that he has and the extra money he earns from racing isn't quite enough. It just isn't quite enough for him to get by. And so Kevin Dillon, who plays his brother-in-law, basically comes up says, look, I've got this... He was a shady guy. He's like, I've got this robbery. This happens really early on in the film, by the way, so it's not like an all spoilers all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, all I need is a driver. And shit just goes wrong with it. And Stephen Dorff's character, basically, they end up stealing money from the mob. And Stephen Dorff's character is the guy the mob send in to clean things up.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go all spoilers all the time on this, because I do think people should actually watch this. But there's Stephen Dorff is basically just playing a very similar character, but not just a copy character of Brad Pitt in Killing Them Softly. Of a guy who's just doing it for the money, but he's just kind of tired of doing it. There's a way that he kills somebody in it that is so, like, matter of fact and callous in the way that he does it. And it's so graphic without actually being graphic.
Yeah.
That I was watching it going, that's really fucking interesting. Why hasn't anyone done that before? That's so fucking cold, easy to shoot, and just the way the shot is composed looks fucking fantastic. And Dorff's doing some fucking good work in this. And then it starts to throw in elements of No Country for Old Men as well. Just a real kind of like, probably will be in my surprises of the year. It's not an amazing movie, but I was fucking shocked at how alright, this is fucking good.
How much better than you expected it
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
I expected this to be a one where I'd be like, look, fucking everybody, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not very good. Whereas I actually think it's a good movie.
Yeah, it sounds alright.
Yeah.
Actually.
And then one more. Rewatch Phantom Thread.
So you've now rewatched a movie I've not seen.
Yeah.
Love that.
I didn't know you wanted to see it.
I don't.
Alright. Fair enough. No, I rewatched Phantom Thread because I don't think I've seen it since the cinema. So I wanted to... I've been wanting to rewatch it for a while, but I've always kind of thought... it's like a movie that you need to be in the mood to watch.
Yeah.
For it. Because it is like 2 and a bit hours long. And it's not like there's an awful lot of, like, it's not a kinetic movie or anything like that.
Right.
It's a very it's a very contained movie.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it when I first watched it, but I wasn't super high on it. I think I was 4 out of 5. It's a great film, but for it.
Yeah.
It's gone up on a rewatch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you know what happens later in the movie, rewatching it, you're picking up bits like that. And the fact that, I think that too many people have slept on Johnny Greenwood's score on this. The score is incredible.
This is Daniel Day-Lewis's most recent film, as it stands.
Yeah, he's retired effectively. He only came out of retirement for this movie. It's Leslie Manville is the star of the show in a film where Daniel Day-Lewis and Vicky Krieps are very, very good in it. Let's say the score, which is pretty much for about the first 2/3 of the movie, is pretty much always there.
Yeah.
But is just brilliant at just kind of taking you through it and allowing that to be the flow of the movie. The score effectively is the pacing of the movie.
Yeah.
And it helps. It goes bigger when it's floating you through the story, when it's taking you quickly through the story, and then when it's the more sort of sedate bits of the story, it's still there in the background, and it has almost like these themes within it. But then as it starts to build the more kind of sinister nature of the movie, it builds on that and it changes its tone and it becomes a little bit more aggressive as it goes. It's a spectacular score as a complementary piece within the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you, I think it's almost like a psychological horror movie. But when you're first watching it, you're thinking it's a psychological horror movie against Vicky Krieps. Then you start to realise, no, it's not. She's the psychological horror of it.
Okay.
And he's on board with it. He digs it.
He's just into it.
Yeah. Really, very much enjoyed my rewatch of it. And for a 2.5-hour movie, that fucker flies by.
Yeah.
Yeah. The intricacies of how Day-Lewis's character works within it, and the moments where you're getting him just essentially designing things or working with the clothing element of it it's quite engaging to watch. But yeah, I'm fucking a little bit sorry I've slept on it for rewatching it for this long.
Fair.
Yeah, but that's
Maybe
it.
I should give it a first one.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Fucking hugely up in my estimation on that rewatch.
Let's get in our race cars for a little bit, just quickly. So I have now caught up with Drive to Survive. That is 5 seasons watched in about 6 months, if that. Probably more like 4. Drive to Survive is great. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with this next season, though, because they're not going to be focusing on the championship all that much. Max Verstappen has now broken the record for most consecutive F1 wins in a row. He's done 10.
It's like 12 or something.
Yeah. Red Bull, as a team, have won 15 in a row, which obviously is also a record. What they're going to do in season 5, I don't know. They'll probably focus a lot on the honey badger Danny Ricciardo, who left F1 at the end of last year, has had a rough few years, came back to F1 as a replacement driver in AlphaTauri, the Red Bull sister team, and then in his 3rd race back, broke his hand in a crash where he was trying to steer out the way of another driver. So I think there'll be a lot of, he's coming back, he's really fucking pumped. This is like coming back to the Red Bull family that he feels comfortable with, and then bang, he's out. He's been replaced by a young buck, Liam Lawson, who has done pretty well. So it's going to be interesting. Ricciardo's not going to be in the next race, it looks like, in Singapore. He might be back for Japan in 3 weeks' time. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Liam Lawson there. But yeah, Verstappen won both the Dutch Grand Prix and the Italian Grand Prix. The Dutch Grand Prix was wet as fuck and was chaos, and it was great. Lots of changing tyres and shit going wrong in the pit lane and all sorts of crashes and whatnot. The Italian Grand Prix was actually a really good battle at the top, at the front. Verstappen didn't get pole. Carlos Sainz of Ferrari did, which the Italian Grand Prix is the home circuit of Ferrari, obviously. So the Tifosi, the Ferrari fans as they're known, were going fucking mad. And Sainz was winning the race for about a third of the race, and then Verstappen overtook him. Sainz ended up being third in the end behind Verstappen and his Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez. But it was a great race. It was really, really fun. The Ferraris, one of them was fourth, one of them was third. Very, very nearly came together. I heard it described as you could have had a wafer thin mint between the tyres, and that would have been about it. Before they would have come together, second last lap, and could have just fucked it up for the both of them, which would have been very Ferrari, because they're a team that in a race earlier this season just weren't ready for the driver coming in to change his tyres. He was just it was brilliant. He was 10 seconds away. He was box, which means I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna come into the pits. And they were just no, stay out. And he was no, box. But the thing is, they didn't even have anyone on standby. They were all just sat around, and it was right, go. And it's shit like that. Ferrari, it happens a lot. They a race last season, I think it was. They basically accidentally let both their drivers come in within 5 seconds of each other, despite the fact they've only got space for one car. In stupid shit like that, they're wilder Ferrari, and it would have been so. It's gone.
So it sounds a little bit like they're not very good.
It is wild. It's basically is known as just being very Ferrari, and the two Ferrari drivers knocking each other out in the penultimate lap of the Italian Grand Prix would have been the most Ferrari thing to ever happen. It's one the stories in F1, I swear to God, Verstappen, because people say it's really boring because Verstappen's just breaking all these records. First off, it's quite cool to see him break these records and just make history. That's nice. But also, there's so much shit that happens behind the race for first, and that's kind of what Drive to Survive actually illuminates. So, yeah, brilliant. Had an email about the Bahrain Grand Prix and kind of some travel information and stuff for that today, even though it's 5.5 months away, and just very, very, very pumped. It is going to be wild to do a Film Bastards in a hotel room in Bahrain.
Yeah. But
yeah, absolutely. So there we go. That's F1. So in terms of films, so I did quite the double bill on my last full day in Spain last week. So I did the new John Cena, Jackie Chan film Hidden Strike.
You see, you've got me at John Cena.
And so I should. This film is very 3 out of 5, and that's absolutely fine. Directed by Scott Waugh, who who directed Expendables. The tagline on Letterboxd: there is a plan, they just don't know what it is. I mean, that's actually great. So this is a China production, but I think of that Dragon Blade film that came out a few years back, and who was that? It was Adrian Brody. There was a couple other fucking. I need to look that up. Hang it up.
I didn't know he was that. He's the brother of Rick Romanwar.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So Dragon Blade, Jackie Chan, John Cusack, Adrian Brody, that film. I think about that and how it is just this fucking weird. What the fuck are these people doing in that? And then I look at this, and it's like, yeah, do you know what? This just kind of makes sense. It's Jackie Chan and John Cena. They're kind of both on opposite sides at first. Pilal Asbayek, who I like that guy. I think he was in Game of Thrones, but he was also like Scarlett Johansson's buddy in Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, I like him, and he's the wrong in this, and he kind of brings Jackie Chan and John Cena together. Oh god, what is it about? Fuck, I watched it like a week ago, and I can't really remember what it's actually about. There's a convoy that that John Cena is trying to kind of like hold up, and Jackie Chan is trying to protect. And it turns out that kind of what they both thought was going on wasn't going on, and then they team up together to save people. There you go. It's fine. There's some decent action. There's some good stuff involving foam at the end, which was a bit like, well, I didn't see that coming, which I quite enjoyed actually. And John Cena and Jackie Chan actually pretty good together. Got some good chemistry. Don't really need to say much more than that about Hidden Strike. 3 out of 5 on Netflix. Decent enough time. So, I watched that. And I watched on Mubi, Mia Hansen Loves Things to Come. So, this is the woman who directed Bergman Island. This is her 2016 film, starring Isabelle Huppert as an academic whose husband leaves her, and then she's basically just kind of trying to live her life.
Sold.
Yeah. It's not as sexy as I wanted it to be. I'll be honest. There's
less sold.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like, you know, really.
You hear Isabelle Huppert and you think sexy as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and it's like. So, yeah, like the letterbox thing. One day, Natalie's husband announces he's leaving her for another woman. With freedom thrust upon her, Natalie must reinvent her life. She doesn't really reinvent her life. She kind of does the same things as she was doing already, except she kind of has a bit more freedom to go and do them. I liked it. It's very slice of life. Not an awful lot happens, but you're just watching Isabelle Huppert do shit for like an hour and 45 minutes. And that's compelling. I'd have liked her to have fucked some guys. But she didn't. There you go.
To be fair, there's about another 20 movies waiting.
So there you go. Things to come. And that's the thing, it's also called Things to Come. Yeah. Yeah, you would. On the plane, I rewatched Steven Soderbergh's High Flying Bird. So I gave this 5 out of 5 at the time. I was like, this is a fucking banger. Do you know what? It's a 5 out of 5 film. It's a fucking banger.
I remember really enjoying it, yeah.
Andre Holland is a sports agent looking to shake some shit up. There's a lockout happening. You know, that's not a million miles away from what's happening at the moment. And he's trying to maneuver shit to kind of get things going again. And it's great. Zazie Beetz is his ex-assistant, who's still kind of his assistant. And she's great in it, actually. She's, like, spicy and fiery. Andre Holland's got some fucking fantastic monologues in it. And it's just this great guy, like, just fucking smart dude, like, doing his job, doing it fucking well.
It fucking flies by as well, from what I remember.
And it was shot on an iPhone. Well done. Well fucking done. So, High Flying Bird, banger. I like the kind of like the documentary footage as well, because they have like real NBA stars doing like kind of like head on camera kind of like interviews about things, and it just gives it this kind of authenticity despite the fact the story's fictional. It's great. A couple other things. So I had a rewatch of Ben Wheatley's Free Fire.
Oh yeah, another one that that Netflix is aggressively advertising it's got.
That film is...
We are proving that if Netflix put a big fucking thing of a movie at you constantly, you will eventually go...
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, go on then.
Look, 7 out of 10 film. You know, I feel like he was kind of riding a bit of a high at the time. It was executive produced by Martin Scorsese. I ever so slightly feel like like the film itself is just trying to be a simpler time than what it was kind of being made out to be at the time. So I remember it kind of like being a bit of a damp squib at the time. It is just this like hour and a half. Like shit happens and people are basically shooting each other / trying to get away from being shot at, and it's just like people kind of like sparring with each other back and forth. It's just this weird.
With Charlton Copley having a really
and he's cracking
good time.
in it. He's just a dickhead. And he's really, really good. He's way more interesting than most of the other characters because he's Sharlto Copley. People are like, he's overacting. What's he fucking... Yeah, he is. He's Sharlto Copley. Just let him fucking do it. It's fine. Free fire. Good time. Lastly, also a good time, a rewatch of Bodies. Nice. This is a good movie. This is snarky and acidic, and when the realization happens that, spoiler alert for Bodies, the fact that no one was murdering anyone and the whole thing was started off by Pete Davidson fucking about with a sword and finding out is just great. It's so fucking good. It does... There's a space in there about 2/3 of the way in where it just kind of seems to... It just kind of peters out a little bit for like 10 minutes or so, but then it really ramps up with this scene where they basically all tell each other what they actually think of each other. And it's like, I like your podcast, and then the girl from Shiver Baby says something, and then the girl rolls her eyes, and she's like, you rolled your eyes at me, you don't like my podcast. And oh god, there's like a thing where it's like one of them saying something, and it's like, I've just got to say something, I've got body dysmorphia, and the other's like, shut the fuck up. Yeah. And it just, the trailer did this as well, the fact that it's like they're all just saying these fucking words that are supposed to mean something and maybe don't actually fucking mean anything, and
they're just saying crap that they don't actually understand, that they don't mean.
Honestly. And again, that film feels like one that, like, it had a lot of buzz when it came out, and people were like, nah. I'm with Bodies. I think it's a really good time. It's very much a film of its moment, and I'd be, like, when Lottie is, like, 17, 18, I'd be fascinated to see what she makes of it then. I mean, like, to be fair, has Izzy seen it?
Yeah, I was about to say that, 'cause we recommended it to Isabel, didn't we? And she didn't like it, did she? No. She was like, they're all just dickheads. Like, yeah, but
they're your dickheads.
They're your dickheads. And she's like, I know, but I know all of those dickheads.
But that's interesting, the fact that she's like, yeah, but I actually know those people. They are, yeah, okay. No.
I don't like this picture because I'm in it.
Yeah, it was pretty much what she said, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, I will just say very, very briefly, I finished Drive to Survive, so now I've started watching another Netflix sports series, Full Swing, about golf. And they're just... It's not Drive to Survive, don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to like wholeheartedly recommend it, but the episode I watched last night was just about this PGA Tour golfer who's like, yeah, I'm 70th in the world, someone's got to be. And he's just like kind of perfectly content, like having people just think he's like a mid professional golfer. It's like, I get by, I do alright. Someone's got to be alright, but not one of the world's best, but still kind of competing in these things. Why not me? And other people are trying to tell him, you're better than you fucking think you are. If you just applied yourself a bit. And the whole episode, and just all these sports documentaries about these guys being like, I need to be the best, I am the best, I'm going to prove I'm the best. You got this guy just going, yeah, somebody's got to be 70th in the world, why not me? I just So I just think that's a really interesting perspective that you just don't.
There's a fair enough to it, isn't there? Well, yeah, you're right. And you know what? Still 70th is, in comparison to everybody else,
good.
it's pretty fucking good.
I mean, it's funny because, like, spoiler alert for this episode, a full swing, but, like, at the end of it, he's in the US Open and he, like, ties for 10th. But it's, like, it's footage of, like, Rory McIlroy and, like, really big golfers talking to him as if he's just one of their own. And not in like, a welcome to the club. Just, like, they're all on this tour. They see each other all the time. They kind of know, like, who are the best and who aren't. But the best ones don't seem to lord it over the others. They're, like... The thing with golf that I seem to be finding is people like this game, but they also know it's a job. Like, it is a job, and the tour, like, I think it's in the thing about golf that I think is interesting is the fact that when they do these weekends, they're 4 days. You get the first 2 days where about half the field are cut out, and that half that are cut out do not get paid. And it's only in the second 2 days, the people competing in those days even get paid. So you've got this, like, lower half of golfers who, like, basically kind of know they might not actually get any money out of these fucking tournaments and they got to pay all their expenses themselves and all this kind of shit. And it just, like, the way that, like, golf, it's, like, something that they play because they enjoy it, but fuck, it's, like, really, really, they don't have...
Yeah, you've got some guys who are literally sponsored by, like,
exactly. And, like, the whole thing about Live Golf, because they talk about that, because it's not necessarily... I don't know what, like, the affiliations with this show is, but, like, they kind of, like, profile Live Tour golfers as well. And the whole thing about the Live Tour was that it's a salary.
It's a Netflix and PGA.
But, like, the Live Tour, it's like they get paid no matter what. They just have to play golf. So there's, like, one guy who's just like, I need to support my family. I'm not saying I agree with this. I need to support my family. I just need to, like, we do perfectly well, but I need to make sure that we keep that up. It's like being accustomed to that kind of style of living kind of thing. I'm gonna do this because if my game is shit that weekend, I still get paid. And there's a logic to it. There's a logic to that. Not necessarily being paid by Saudi, but there's a logic to that.
There's a logic to it. It's very much I'm going to make an excuse for the fact that I'm going to work for these.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look,
people.
it's like let's not necessarily get into it. But that Jordan Henderson interview that came out.
Yeah, it made it even worse for himself.
Well, well done.
Yeah, it's well done. People were waiting for it and going, well, let's just see what he says, and then gone, oh, it's that. Fair enough. Fuck you.
Just, I'm not getting paid 700,000 a week. That's fucking ridiculous. I won't tell you how much I'm getting paid. 700,000. Nah. Like, what is the acceptable? You know what I mean? Like, anyway, let's not. But, yeah. Football really shining itself in glory at the moment. It's doing really well.
Yeah, it really is.
So, do you know what is shining himself in glory? Denzel Washington's Robert McCall in The Equalizer 3. Directed by Anton Fuqua and starring Denzel bloody Washington. Dakota Fanning, Eugenio Mastrandrea, David Denman, and others. Robert McCall finds himself at home in southern Italy, but he discovers his friends are under the control of local crime bosses. As events turn deadly, McCall knows what he has to do. Become his friend's protector by taking on the mafia. I'm going to start on this one. The Equalizer 3 fucking bangs. That film is really, really fun. The minute we're in a absolutely cold open, don't know what the fuck's going on here, and it's the stuff in the trailer. Like, the whole kind of, like, 9 seconds thing. Yeah. And then what happens? He fucking, puts a gun through a guy's head and then shoots people with the gun through the guy's head. Alright, let's go. Right. The cinematography is drab as shit. what they were doing, trying to basically present like Denzel Washington, Robert McCall's dream place as Italian purgatory. It's a choice. Dakota Fanning as the new Equalizer is a choice. But this film rollicks along with the absolutely full-blooded, bull in a china shop energy of let's do Man on Fire, but just not as classy.
Let's do Man on Fire, but Denzel's 20-odd years older.
I, for one, had a fantastic time with this. My audience had a fantastic time with this. And this film is a fun time. It's not one of the best films of the year. There's plenty wrong with it. But my fucking God, it's Denzel Washington killing people and dipping a tea bag and going, you'll just have to wait and find out, or whatever it is he says. And it is glorious. If either of you dare say otherwise, then I'm going to equalise you.
And I really enjoyed it, to be honest, more than I was expecting to. I think given the time that we watched it, when you watch a movie that late, there's always the risk that you're just not going to be in the right zone for it. So watching it at 9 o'clock at night maybe wasn't our best option, but no, I really liked it. It's not. I rewatched number 2 because we watched the majority of number 1 a few months back, didn't we? So I didn't feel the need to watch that one. Rewatched number 2 in the run-in to this and finished it sort of during the day before we went to see it. And this isn't as good as number 2 for me. I think it's probably better for certain demographics of movie viewers. It's probably more intelligent, but the second one's more violent for more of the runtime, and that's what I wanted. So this one...
Is it more violent than this one?
Do you remember the scene when Melissa Leo gets killed?
Oh, of course, yeah, fair enough.
It is brutal. Anyway, so number 2, very violent, and violent for more of the runtime, whereas this one saves most of its violence for the end, doesn't it, really?
It has more, I would say, short pockets of violence.
But they're not satisfying violence. It's like a man beating up a fishmonger.
I don't know, the bit where he, like he says, he smashes a gun through a guy's face and then shoots another man with said gun. It's pretty fucking violent.
Oh, what, the bit in the alley?
No.
Where's that?
The start of the movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Alright, so it's like little reserved pockets, I guess, isn't it? And then it's just him drinking tea for a lot of it. So I could have used more consistency in the pacing, for me. But I'm happy Roberta McCall's finally found peace.
I like those bits.
Sure.
What? I liked him just bipping around this Italian town.
I liked it, but it's not necessarily what
No, I mean, it's Stanley Tucci searching for Italy with more killing.
Yeah, but I kind of like that.
Yeah, same.
I liked... I enjoyed the fact that... at the end, I was thinking, I really hope that's it. That the crescendo of this movie is that guy essentially just like crawling through the streets, dying of a drug overdose on his own, on the drugs that he's smuggling in.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking, I hope it isn't that he goes back to the town and there's another bigger bad in the town that he wasn't expecting.
I fucking love the fact that Denzel's just walking side by side. He gets hit by the car, then he's fucking crawling along, and Denzel's just there. No other fuckers like trying to get in the way. I really, really wanted it to cut to somebody going like, you know, we should try and see what's going on, and then somebody else just be like, no, it's between them.
Yeah. but it's really it's gloriously violent at points.
Yeah, it is.
And I enjoyed that about it. And the thing is, I was saying to you a bit after we came out, it's almost a little bit like the first one was a little bit more serious and stoic. And then the sequels have just gradually got more violent. A little bit like the Rambo movies. The first one has an element of seriousness to it. And then it goes, fuck it, let's just be really violent.
Well, I think, again, similar to the Rambo movies, you've got... The first one seems more grounded in reality.
Yeah. But, yeah. But also, as well, in the first one, he doesn't seem to... He seems to have these skills, but doesn't seem to revel in them as much. Whereas this one, he seems to actually enjoy the acts of violence that he's committing.
Yeah, yeah.
There's one thing I really like. I like the fact that the bad guys are just generic Italian Euro trash bad guys. Yeah. There is nothing else to them at all. It's just, look at this guy, go, yeah, I know what he is, straight away. Yeah. My one complaint is about the movie, where I'm a bit like, really? Is the guy at the end that he's got the pension thing for, it's like, it's a bricklayer that he met. You can tell that nobody making this movie has ever met a bricklayer if they think that is what a bricklayer looks like at the end of the movie. That guy has never even picked up that guy has never done any manual labour in their entire life.
Just make him a retired, professor or something.
But retired teacher, anything like that.
Yeah.
But a bricklayer, and I was like, that guy's not a bricklayer. That guy's not a Boston bricklayer, especially.
Yeah, you have criticisms like that. But then, on the other hand, you have a score that goes so insanely hard.
Fucking hard. Yeah, I loved the score. I've got to say, it was my boy Robert Richardson that shot it. I actually quite like the camera work in it.
Yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, the score's fucking great. It does go so hard. Hard to the point of where you're going, this is too loud. This is a very rise.
But it's great, though. And it does just feel like the noise that's in McCall's head.
Yeah.
Great.
Marcelo Zavaros is the guy who did the score.
Good on you, Zamaros. I like your fucking style.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just... The only way I will accept another one of these, and I don't think there will be one, Denzel's been very undone, but the only way I would accept it is if he is defending that Italian village again.
Yeah, that's it. I still want him to be there. I like the fact that they used that. I mean, because Denzel, there's no getting away from it. Denzel Washington is now in his 60s, and he's in his late 60s. And granted, Denzel doesn't look like a guy in this movie like a guy who's in his late 60s.
No.
And again, and we've spoken about quite a bit about different people. He is incredibly charismatic.
Yeah.
And he's got that fucking smile. But he clearly can't do the level of action that he could do 20 years ago.
No.
Or even 10 years ago. So it's all very much... a lot of it is actually first-person view. Which is really quite clever in the way they get round it.
But I like... They've clearly taken that into account with the choreography and stuff as well. You get some movies where it's like, well, that's clearly not him.
Yeah.
They can't move like that. 60-odd-year-old people cannot move like that.
You mean all Liam Neeson movies since Taken 2?
Well, yeah. And the later Die Hard movies and stuff like that, it's clearly not Bruce Willis doing that. But then you've got people like Tom Cruise, who clearly can, because he does. That fucking behind the scenes footage of him jumping off that cliff, I don't know whether you've seen it, but it is insane.
It's bonkers.
And then, it may well have been a body double doing it in this, but they have taken into account how much Denzel realistically can do.
Yeah.
when doing it. So it's all just very deadpan, low energy, matter of fact violence.
But as well the bit where the guy comes to him in the restaurant. And he's there, and that's great. That if you got Denzel, that's what you want to do with him. Have him doing that. What is it?
You don't want to feel what 4 feels like. You'll shit your pants.
Shit your pants, and these people don't want that.
Yeah.
It's just, he's so good, and it's so fun that Denzel Washington is just on board with doing an Equalizer 3 movie, because there's an element. I saw a bit of an interview with him where he referenced the fact that these are the sort of movies that he made with Tony Scott. And he would still be making these movies with Tony Scott. And that he misses making these movies with Tony Scott. And it's great that he gets to make these movies with Anton Fuqua.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that. And Fuqua's there going, man, I wish I could make a movie as good as a Tony Scott movie. Yeah. And there's clearly that thing that he likes making these type of movies.
Yeah.
As well as the more, what you would consider more profound movies that he makes. He likes making these action movies. He loved making with Tony Scott. He likes making with Anton Fuqua. And yeah, he's 68 years old. He's not Stallone. He's not going to be making these movies into his 70s.
No.
But he clearly enjoyed making them. But yeah, I'd happily watch another one where it's somebody comes to the town for revenge, and he's like,
I mean, this is the thing. It was like that kid at the start. It was like, I kind of thought, like, because it's such a cold open, it's like, is it going to go 10 years later or something like that, you know?
Yeah, I thought it might be that. I thought that with the trailer, when you saw the Marco generic douchebag, that he was going to be that kid.
I was waiting for, like, you know, when there's all the violence and it's such a cold open, and then it goes to the boat after he's been. Yeah. I was waiting for like a 3.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
it's a ballsy, kind of weirdly discombobulating way to start a film, where it is just he's doing that, and then you almost kind of forget about like what he was doing, and then they tie it back in, and he was just doing his normal equalizing shit.
Yeah, but I like the fact that we've got 3 Equalizer movies that are essentially just big episodes.
Yeah. I did really appreciate the cold open though, because when I was watching the end of number 2 earlier in the day, I was like, so he's just in his nice house by the sea. What knots are they going to tie themselves up into to make an excuse for him going back to this violent life when he's clearly quite happy and settled back in his hometown?
He heard a fucking rough story when he was giving someone a lift. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't explain how he went back to being a Lyft driver.
Who cares?
He just did. And now he's in Italy, murdering people for shits. For $366,000.
So much
I just love the fact that the doctor just says to the police officer, he fell. No, he didn't. He was shot. No, he fell. All right, then.
He did. He fell.
Oh, but then when he's back, he's like, oh my God, what happened to Gio? He fell.
A lot of that going around. But as well, I also like the fact that he deals with those guys so easily. Like, it's not even a challenge.
It's just the way that they had that car in the background as well. And it's like, Denzel's in that car. Yeah. And you're just fucking waiting for it. And then it happens. It's like, yay!
But you're thinking, when he kills, like, the brother, you're like, going, oh, well, he's not gonna like dispatch him or anything like that. He's gonna like, oh no, wait, he's killed him. Oh, he's killed him. Yeah, fair enough.
This is I mean, like this is a film that kind of like every single thing that plays out kind of feels like, yeah, okay, you can kind of see that coming, but it's so fucking satisfying. And it's because I think it's because it's Denzel.
Yeah, it is.
You want him to succeed.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. But even like when he's got to climb up all those fucking stairs to go and see Fanning, and he's knackered,
yeah,
and she's like, Are you alright? And the fact he's just wandering around, just kind of like panting and trying to sit down whilst chatting to it. It's good.
But then the end of this film.
Yeah. And the old lady going
that
to
was
take it
good.
slowly.
But then the end of the film is just like, right, that Italian village is like won a football match. He's like, what's going on? They just won a game, it's really important. He's like, yeah, alright then. I'll just start dancing, and that's the end of the film. I don't want there to be an Equalizer 4, because I want that to be the end of the Equalizer films. It's like, Denzel goes off, celebrates with a bunch of Italians because they won a football match. Brilliant.
I want the Equalizer 4 to be essentially just. It doesn't even need to be. It doesn't need to be an action film that has no violence. It's just 90 minutes of Denzel just buying a little house, setting it all up, going to what is it, going to his first football match, and all this lot. And it's just like a jolly little film.
The thing is, I watched this Sunday evening. The Italian Grand Prix was on Sunday afternoon. Following this, that all I want to fucking do at some point in the next few years is like goes to the Italian Grand Prix and just party with some Italians. I bet it's fucking lovely. I bet they're super welcoming. Like, I can wear my Mercedes hat and they're not going to be unhappy about it, and we'll just have a great time. I'll be like Denzel, just fucking bobbing along, going, "What are you dancing about? I don't care. Let's just dance." What a time. Equalizer 3, definitely not shit.
Definitely not shit. Yeah. Our audience poll, definitely not shit 50%, shit 33%, and Geostorm 17%.
Yeah, alright. Should be 100%, definitely not shit, but fine. Twitter questions.
Should be, yeah. Rick J. Kidd says, which actor or actress who had their prime years of their career prior to 1970 would you most like to explore the filmography of?
To be honest, Brando, because little bit of a fucking blindside for me.
Is it? I watched a lot of Brando.
Yeah, not so much.
There's some really good shit actually in the Brando one.
Hitchcock. I'm drastically undereducated in the films of Alfred Hitchcock. I know you don't like him. I'm not going to make you.
I'm sure I don't like him. I accept the fact that he's a great filmmaker and everything like that. I'm not saying he's shit or anything like that. But I don't care. I've watched a lot of it and I'm just like, it's not for me.
Yeah, it's fair.
Mine's George C. Scott.
That's an interesting choice.
Because a lot like the ones that I could go to, I've actually watched a bit of.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've watched anywhere near enough George C. Scott. But everything I've ever seen him in, he's fucking brilliant. So why don't I might explore that a little bit.
Do it.
And we have another question. Dylan Black Lantern says, after recently watching the Sci-Fi Channel adaptation of Stephen King's Crouch End, which is up on YouTube, I have two questions. What is the worst adaptation of an artist's work, and what is the crappiest on-screen depiction of England or the UK in general?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like there isn't a crappiest interpretation of England or the UK, because I don't know, we're kind of shit at the moment. It just kind of feels like anything would be, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that's it. I think you've got to go to things like that are just like, yeah, that's not actually what the UK is like. Is any sort of like 60s American-made movie set in Britain. Where they're all like the fucking water babies or something like that, where it's all just fucking it's all very white witch saviour movies. It's fucking
the reinterpretation thing. Sorry, Mark. Ryan Adams is 1989.
What?
That fucking like cover of Taylor Swift's album that he did. yeah, that's the worst reinterpretation of a thing from another artist.
I really like that album.
Nah.
Yeah, it's a really good album.
I don't know why
Yeah,
you just cover perfection. There's literally no point.
See, I get that people love Taylor Swift. I have major issues with the just overproduced, homogenized music.
The thing is, I think both versions for me.
You like both versions, don't you?
Yeah, I really like Taylor Swift's version of 1989.
I like some of it. I like probably more of 1989 than Taylor Swift's other stuff.
But I hate both of the versions of Shake It Off. I just think it's an objectively bad song. Both of the versions of that are awful. But like Out of the Woods, both versions of that have their own different energy and both are beautiful.
Well, you know, because the Ryan Adams version is fantastic. And I think the Taylor Swift version is just a terrible mix of noise. What?
No, I disagree with you. I like all versions on both. No, all songs on both versions I like, apart from Shake It Off on both.
you don't like that song?
No, it's shit.
I don't mind Shake It Off, actually.
You fucking idiot.
I don't mind it. I think it's quite good. It's quite a quirky song.
Fair enough.
A Blank Space, one of the greatest pop songs ever made. Sorry, moving on.
Bad. I'm still not over the Lovely Bones adaptation.
Oh, fuck.
No.
That might be the answer, Bex.
Might be, actually,
It hurts me.
in
any context, for any reason, if someone said to me, "Who hurt you because of my behaviour?" it would be.
I mean, that
adaptation by Peter Jackson.
As well, we literally wouldn't have Ryan Gosling that we have now had it not been for Lovely Bones.
Yeah.
Because he was obviously supposed to be in it, wasn't he? And he put on loads of weight.
And then lost the part.
And then lost the part because of it. But was basically he wasn't allowed to do anything. He wasn't allowed to make anything else while they were making Lovely Bones, because they essentially
paid
tied
him out,
into his
did they?
contract.
Wow. Okay.
Even though they replaced him, they paid him out, but said to him, "You can't work while we're producing it." So he couldn't work for 2 years.
Why would he even do that?
So what he did was he'd said, as part of his contract, when they'd said it, that he could go to the gym on their dime. So he got super ripped as like a fuck you to Peter Jackson.
Fair.
Because he put on all this weight and then started getting things like Crazy Stupid Love and stuff like that because of the fact that he got ripped.
Have you guys ever seen Stanley Tucci at the Oscars when they play the clip?
Yes.
It just how fucking embarrassed he looks when they play the clip and then it cuts back to him. I will I will send you the a YouTube of it, Bex. It's very funny.
Yeah, do.
He's just like, I guess.
Nobody likes that.
Oh, fucking, yeah, here we go.
Well.
Right, it's about 45 seconds in, Bex. I'm going to send this to the chat now. Just go to 45 seconds in. It's like the end of the clip and then his reaction. It is fucking incredible. We need to do this live. So on YouTube, this is Christoph Waltz wins supporting actor 2010 Oscars. If anybody wants to kind of like watch along. About 45 seconds in.
We're just watching it now. Oh my god.
So, for those who don't watch, it's basically him just shaking his head and then just turning to someone and say in front of him and saying something. It's incredible. I mean, that's the Lovely Bones. And to be fair, I mean, like, okay, Peter Jackson's made some documentaries. Has he made a good film since King Kong? No. He's made.
With the exception of his documentaries.
I mean, I haven't seen all of Get Back, but They Shall Not Grow Old. Fair play, good. The Hobbit films and The Lovely Bones. Nah, mate.
I'm just looking at what he's
done.
His
Fuck
filmography is
all
from
Hobbits is.
feature films. Lord of the Rings, King Kong, Lovely Bones, Hobbits is. That's it.
It's not like he's even got anything in the pipeline.
In 20 years, he's made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies, and 3 of those were the Hobbit movies. That's
So,
bonkers.
are we saying that his last good movie was The Frighteners then in 1996?
No, I don't think we're saying that. I mean, you might say that.
I'm
Yeah.
saying that.
Fucking.
The thing about it is, I enjoyed the Lord of the Rings movies when I watched them. I just can't rewatch them. I can't get through them. I like the fact that there's so many people can rewatch them so many times and over again. And that's cool. But I've tried to rewatch them and was like, I cannot get through this. It's no.
They're quite dull.
Let's not.
No, but they are quite. They're very, because they've stretched it out over so long of a film.
When was that saying you rewatched them?
For the
curiosity.
podcast that we did with George.
Yeah, they're too stretched out. Like so the pace is quite slow, and I think if you're not into fantasy, you'd struggle with.
That's why I can't.
Yeah, that's where you won't be able to. For me, I don't hate the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't love them. I wouldn't rewatch them over and over again, but I don't hate them.
They're brutal. They are fucking brutal.
I mean, the Lord of the Rings movies, obviously, they've got Sean Bean.
Well, the first one does. Well, and the second one's extended version.
Well, yeah, and
Was it the first?
yeah, but you've also got to deal with Orlando Bloom, which is painful. But yeah,
and Becky had the correct answer to the question. Lovely Bones.
Yeah, I don't hate them. I am set within my that right now. I know I enjoyed watching them.
You might not enjoy them on rewatch.
I tried rewatching Fellowship and really struggled with it. So I stopped and went, do you know what? I am fine with not ruining these movies for myself.
Fair play. Was Tintin him?
No, he was
he
supposed to direct
produced
the
it.
second one, and it was going to be Spielberg and Jackson, or maybe it was going to be Edgar Wright.
Fincher
Sorry?
as well, wasn't he? Fincher was.
I thought it was Edgar
well,
Wright.
wasn't he? Edgar Wright, yeah, there was supposed to be like 5 or 6, and it was supposed to just like be constantly passing it along
And
to
they
a
did
different
one,
director.
and it was good. And
they
they
did-
just didn't do a second. Yeah,
I
that
like
film's
Tintin.
good. Spielberg did a
Never-
fucking
never got the
motion
whole
capture
Tintin.
Tintin film.
that was written and that was written by Edgar Wright and Joe Cornish.
Yeah, that's
Bonkers.
isn't that wild though?
Yeah, it's just weird. There's an oddity of like there's a whole like period of Spielberg's career that seems to have been forgotten by people.
Yeah,
Like his from like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull up until like maybe like the Bridge of Spies, but even like the BFG, people forget.
Oh god, yeah, that was a thing.
it's a fucking
not a
good
good thing, but it's a
movie, is
thing.
Tintin.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's really
Billy
solid.
Elliot in it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Daniel Craig, isn't it? As what's it?
yeah, the wrong one. Yeah,
Standard.
is that it for Twitter questions?
That's it for Twitter questions. Yeah, sorry.
Coming up next week, getting a bit horror-y.
We are out, yeah.
So, lead review will be The Nunt Woo.
In IMAX, unfortunately.
Oh, right. Very quickly, mild tangent. So, I was walking around work. Might have been yesterday, actually. Right. and there was a girl walking in front of me.
Primark got
And
none.
she had a tattoo.
Oh shit! I just said the name.
She had a tattoo. What?
No,
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine.
did she have like nun jeggings on or something?
No,
Alright.
she had a tattoo that was Velok from the nun, right, on the back of her leg.
Wow.
Cool.
And I was looking at it, and she turned and looked at me, and I was like, "Is that Velok from the Conjuring movies?" She's like, "The nun." Yeah, I was like, "Yeah." She went, "Yeah, it is." I was like, "All right." I said, "You looking forward to Friday then?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "The Nun 2." She went, "What are you on about?" I was like, "There's a Nun 2 coming out."
Oh
on
mate, you just
Friday."
made her a week.
And she just went, "Fuck off." I was like, "No, genuinely, there's a Nun 2. It's like, "No, there isn't." And then got a phone
great.
out.
That's
I've got to
great.
tell you this because we went straight to the cinema.
Yeah.
Got a phone out and went, and showed to a friend and went, "Holy shit, Megan, this is what we're doing Friday." And a friend went, "Why? What?" And then she just went, "I'm so looking forward to this." And then high-fived me and walked off.
No, right, okay, all right.
But that then made me think, hang on a minute, you've got a tattoo of a character on the back of your leg, but you don't know there's a movie of that character coming out on Friday.
Mark, can I just rewind? You noticed that this girl had a tattoo of the nun on the back of her leg. You said to her, a manager at Primark, "Nice tattoo of Valak, the nun. There's the Nun 2 coming out," and she said, "Fuck off."
Yeah. Like in a fuck off. Like not like a fuck off, get away from me.
I mean, it's a bit 50-50. I think that's a bit risky, that. I don't know.
Like, you have seen me though, right?
What do you mean, I've seen you? What does that mean?
I think
That you
probably
look
should
like
get away with
someone
saying
who
that.
would comment on young girls' tattoos on the back of their legs.
Oh, what, you think it was risky for me?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't think it was risky.
Well, if someone's wearing shorts, someone a tattoo's clearly showing.
All right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just fucking diversity and inclusivity training up to the eyeballs or something. But
It's interacting with customers.
yeah. Okay. Would it be any different if you said that to a staff member?
What?
Like what? I mean, like if I was.
One on her arse, Ian.
No, I know, I know, but I don't know. Yeah. I think that it would be very dependent on what the thinking and feelings were of the young woman I was interacting with. Sorry, maybe we'll move on.
I do have conversations frequently with. There's a girl, Hannah, I work with.
Yeah.
And she's got quite a lot of tattoos, and she keeps getting new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we often chat about her tattoos. But I get so many comments about mine every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, frequent comments about mine every day.
Good or bad comments?
Mostly good.
I mean, it's double standards, but I'm also almost like. I don't think it would be as much of a problem if people were commenting on my tattoos more than I was commenting on theirs. I don't know, maybe it's just a different work environment as well, though, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry, interesting point. Like, fair play, and I think that's really fun that she just discovered that the Nun 2 was coming out, and that's just made her weekend.
She was well excited.
Yeah.
Her friend didn't look as excited about the fact that she was going to get dragged to the Nun.
No. Okay, so we've got the Nun 2, or the Nunt Woo. And apparently there's a mid-credits, by the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Something to do with the overall Conjuring universe, so get ready. So we're also going to do The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which doesn't have a UK release date currently. It was pulled because the distributor's been sold to someone else. But it is on US VOD, so we'll be talking about that. And we will also be doing a catch-up review of Rob Savage's The Boogeyman, which is now available in the UK on VOD as well. So there we are. I would just like to say, Jason Reitman, I know you're listening, and I just hope you're fucking proud of yourself, because no one else is. And I'll say thank you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Lee.
Thank you, Becky.
Thank you very much.
And Ivan Reitman. God rest your soul. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with that. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.